The other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those, but anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
The Frells family lives on a lush piece of land called Greener Pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at QualityEquip.com.
Register for Army ROTC to be a leader and an officer in the U.S. Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. You could also be eligible for a full tuition scholarship. Lead the team that makes a difference. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson, DAL, at ecu.edu. Paid for by the United States Army.
2020 certainly hasn't been the year many of us were hoping for, but one thing has stayed the same. I'm Tim Sutton with Greenville Auto World, and our commitment to our customers has never wavered. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Your vehicle is a big investment, and our customers trust us to keep them up and running with outstanding service and value. We're Greenville Auto World, across from Hardee's at Bells Fork.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple!
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello everyone, welcome in to Pirate Radio Live on a Monday. Clip Brock here with you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We are live online, pr927fm.com. And you can watch us on Facebook Live and also on YouTube Live. Subscribe to Pirate Radio TV and watch us on YouTube Live with all of our local shows, including The Brian Bailey Show, which aired earlier today at noon. And also you can check it out coming up at 6 o'clock if you missed it earlier. And we'll be with you Friday on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, kicking off at 5 o'clock for the 9 o'clock kickoff after the game. Late night, early morning at U.S. Sailor, 5th quarter call-in show. So happy to be with you on another game week. Coming up on today's program, cannot wait to talk to Brian Bailey at 3:30 as Washington put one on his Cowboys yesterday. That'll be a lot of fun to recap coming up at 3:30. At 4 o'clock, it's the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu from Barstool Sports. We'll recap the weekend, look ahead at tonight's matchup between the Bears and the Rams on Monday Night Football, get his thoughts on ECU Tulsa and more. Ronnie Woodward is in here talking Pirate football at 4:15 this afternoon. And then at 5 o'clock, it's Troy D inside the Pirate Radio studios. We'll hear what Mike Houston had to say earlier today at his weekly press conference. Jonathan Ellerbe here to kick things off on a Monday. Ellerbe, how you doing?
Doing great, Clip. I know you're off to a happy week after the Redskins got a win, and you got a week off to just enjoy some college football in general, huh?
Victory Monday, only the second time that's happened this season when it comes to Washington. And yes, I enjoyed the Saturday of college football. Big Ten back. We got that. I think it was a real game. It was almost like a movie, the Penn State-Indiana game, and the ending to that game.
That was awesome, man. I caught the last little bit of the fourth quarter to the overtime part, and what a great finish. That was fantastic.
Their quarterback, Penix, made some of the most insane throws on that final drive in regulation where he was being crushed, and it's coming out lefty. It looks awkward anyway. And then what happened in overtime with him diving probably came up short, but they gave him a touchdown.
It would have been crushing to me if Penn State would have won. I just think
they gave him a 2-point conversion, I should say, right?
Yeah. But I mean, I thought it was awesome that they gave it to Indiana, because I do think the ball hit before the pylon. But I mean, just a tremendous finish of an exciting and an upset just to beat a number 8 team. So that I thought that was a fun Saturday night.
Big Ten Mountain West back, still waiting on the Pac-12 and MAC to return. And as these conferences get going, I'm still looking at these top 25 rankings, and I'm glad to see, Ellerbe, that you got Cincinnati, 7th in the country. And by the way, if you watched them against SMU, you could see why. They look to be the real deal. Watching them the other night. Coastal Carolina is 20th in the nation. They're 5-0.
It's crazy.
They're number 20.
But how much can you really take into these polls, though? I mean, you saw NC State was ranked this week. They lost. Penn State hadn't played a game.
You knew that NC State was overrated.
I know, which gets to my point. I mean, and really, after the top 4 or 5 in the polls, I mean, everybody else is just kind of hanging around, right?
If ECU was in the polls, we would make the biggest deal about it, tweet about it, talk about it nonstop.
It would be
so.
Tremendous.
It depends on the team and your interest, how important they are.
I think if your team's not in the top 25, then the polls just don't seem to be very. I mean, like, who do you think really is the number 1 team? Would you, if you had a vote, would you put Clemson,
I would pick
Alabama?
Clemson to beat Alabama right now.
You would?
Yes.
Okay.
Yourself?
It'd be a toss. I mean, it'd be tough. I mean, Alabama looks pretty good.
All right. Well, Troy's coming in at 5.
Yes.
Would you like to make a decision at 3 today?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll take Alabama just to counter your point.
Right,
just based that they've played better competition.
And Ohio State, apparently they're going to look the part. Like Notre Dame at number 4. I don't know if I trust that right now.
That's like the fishy line theory. It's like they're the team that get the invite to the playoffs and then get shut out or lose by 30.
Yep, that seems to be their case every year. But Marshall, still top 25. I said it last week. Boise State has crept up into the top 25. Liberty, just on the outside looking in.
Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, getting it done there. Tulsa, looking very, very strong. And they, Ellerbe, are going to be a challenge coming up Friday night for the Pirates.
I think the Pirates are going to have their hands full on Friday. I went back and looked at the box score of the game that ended the season last year, the 49-24 game here in Greenville. And, man, I mean, Tulsa, they beat UCF. They've played well against Oklahoma State. I think that they're just going to be a tough opponent to go out on a Friday night, and the Pirates are going to have to tangle with them as they're, close to a 20-point underdog. And man, it'll make the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show very interesting if the Pirates can hang around and pull an upset.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that they, again, they're 19-point dogs now, so I'm hoping they can keep it close, make it a game into the fourth quarter, have people interested, entertained throughout the game, so we can have a fun and busy U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show kicking off likely after 12:30. I'm going to say around 12:40. We'll be starting that show in the AM on Saturday morning, technically, and we want people. We don't want just crickets, Ellerbe, with Shirley and I and Chandler and Glenn. We want some calls coming up. So
yeah, and we'll have plenty of coverage on the pregame from 5 to 9, getting you ready for that. But a lot of storylines going into this game. The return of Holton Ahlers. He has a comeback story after the whole COVID test that happened in the Navy game. So I find that what can Holton Ahlers bring back to this offense, and the Harris with the running game. I'm excited to watch some Pirate football up late on a Friday night. Hey, what else you got to do the night before Halloween?
What's Harris's first name, Ellerbe?
Is it Raji?
Oh boy,
no.
Shirley, what's his name?
So it's not Raji, Raja, or Raja. It's Rajay.
Rajay Harris is the name.
You know what it is? It's like, go! That's his name when he's running down the field.
80 yards.
And you're watching the game.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody today that's a huge East Carolina fan, man, and he was like, man, that guy is super excited. I mean, people are fired up about Rajay Harris.
That is correct.
And look, if he wants to go by Dr. Harris or whatever, he keeps scoring touchdowns.
Dr. J.
He can do whatever he wants if he keeps running the ball the way he's done so far this year.
Shirley, let's hit cut 5 because Ellerbe mentioned it. Holton Ahlers back at practice. Mike Houston earlier today was asked about Ahlers and the other players that missed action against Navy and if they are back.
We got most of them back. We'll be without a few guys this Friday, but we're getting a lot of them back from quarantine and isolation, and we're getting some of our guys that have been nicked up a little bit, getting a few more of those guys back as well. So it's certainly good to have Holton back at practice. He practiced well on Saturday, looked very sharp, and so expecting to have a great week with him as far as preparation goes.
Ahlers coming off was his most efficient game. It was not his biggest passing game as an ECU Pirate, but when you have 3 touchdowns and your attempts are in the mid-20s and he was able to do what he did against South Florida, that offense was clicking about as good as it could, running and passing. And you hope there's no, I don't know if hangover is the word, Ellerbe, but no, kind of pause in the growth of this offense since Ahlers had to miss a week against Navy.
Yeah, and the thing I'm really excited about is to have Holton back out there under center, and then really for finally to have a big game for the receivers. I mean, who is really going to have one of those breakout games where one of the receivers is who he's talking about in addition to Harris?
Got to be a C.J. Johnson game.
But it could be Tyler Snead, too. I mean, you saw him last year have some huge games.
His SMU game comes to mind.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, as I said, I think that's what's great about this receiving core. There's so many of them that if Holton can really start picking apart the defense with his receivers, too, man, it's only going to open up that hole for Harris to bust a big one again.
Friday night, 9 o'clock, and this one is on
The Deuce.
We have a kickoff time for the following week. ECU will be taking on Tulane. That'll be a noon kickoff, and we are back on the plus, Ellerbe.
Back on the plus for the home game. I kind of have a feeling the home games in November are going to be the noon plusers, and maybe even that Temple game on the Saturday, the 21st, is looking probably like a noon pluser. But then we're going to be back Friday the 13th. I think on regular ESPN, perhaps against Cincinnati. And then who's on the while you're doing the Bud Light pregame tailgate, you can flip over on ESPN and watch Scotty Montgomery and the Terps. They're on the Friday night. This Friday,
they're rowing the boat against Minnesota, right?
Yeah, the Terps. It's Minnesota, but they are definitely the Friday. I was like, man, who got us on ESPN regular? And so Pirate fans, I know, will be listening and watching to us getting ready for the ECU game. But if they want to see some Scotty Montgomery football, they will definitely be playing on ESPN Friday night. So
I believe they put up a 3 spot against Northwestern.
They did. They kicked the field goal, so they did not have a very good positive Big Ten back moment this weekend for the Terps.
Body not being worked over the weekend for Scotty Montgomery and those Maryland Terrapins. So yeah, we got a late one coming up this Friday, an early one the following Saturday. And, I always wonder why East Carolina keeps getting these plus spots. And, the first thought is, well, if they were good, they would be on regular TV. Well, their game against UCF, who was ranked 13th or whatever, was a plus game. I'm wondering if it's ECU fans give the plus more attention than maybe other fans in the American. Do you think there's anything to that, Ellerbe? Do you think there's a reason why they're on the plus and not regular TV?
I did look at.
There's like two ways you can look at it: positive or negative. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Pirate Nation is rapid. I do believe we consume a lot of content,
especially compared to the other schools in the league, right?
Yeah, I would definitely so. And I think the other thing I looked at when I looked at the board, the American board for that Tulane weekend, it seemed to make sense that if there was going to be a game on the plus. It was going to be that game. It was going to be ECU. The one thing about the American, though, that I watch and is because we do have a lot of Friday games here and there, that sometimes there could only be like 3 options for American. So I was kind of thinking, man, we might be on the U or this or that. But I think the way they're doing the games, who knows how ESPN, their algorithms or whatever they come up with of what makes sense. Because the crazy thing this year, how we're on the plus, and not everybody's playing football right now, which is bizarre. So
looking at that particular weekend, let's see the other AAC games. You got a Thursday nighter, Saturday, Houston, Cincinnati.
That's it. I mean,
South Florida, Memphis, and then Navy's got the CBS Sports Network game.
Yeah, I mean, so Memphis is going to be a good draw for television, and then what was the other?
Houston, Cincinnati.
I mean, just you say Cincinnati at this point. Houston, that's a no-brainer. So if it came down to anybody getting that's when I looked at it. I said we're going to be. Before I left the office for lunch, I told everybody. I said, I bet you it's going to be a noon pluser. And when I saw it on our Twitter feed, then I knew it didn't surprise me. So, would you rather be a 9 o'clocker on an ESPN2, or would you rather be a plus at noon?
Anything noon at this point, I'm taking
noon. Or yes, I mean, would you rather control your game time on the plus, which is not the case, or have them put you late at night?
And that's kind of a shame too, right? That you can't control your time if you are on a plus, because it would seem like you should be able to. I would think.
Yeah, I thought in our conversations with John Gilbert before, I thought basketball and maybe baseball or maybe those sports, maybe you have some sort of say-so of particularly basketball. It would make more sense. But who knows, man?
Will ECU go an entire season without playing a 3:30 game?
Yes.
You think that it's either noon or evening?
Yeah, I told you. I think the Temple and the SMU game are going to be nooners. And then the Cincinnati game already has a game time.
Yeah.
And absolutely. I don't think. I mean, do you see? I mean, you don't want the Temple and you don't want the Saturday after Thanksgiving game be. I mean, of course, it doesn't really matter the way the fan situation is this year.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're doing it all about the student athletes where they can take care of their stuff, then you're putting those games at noon.
Not Friday night at 9 o'clock. Yeah, Tulsa.
Friday night at 9 o'clock.
That is not a student athlete first game.
Well, unless they just assume our players like trick or treating and like candy.
Yeah,
which may have been canceled in certain areas, but I mean, it's just, I mean, who knows, man? But it is a late kickoff. But I went to the UTEP East Carolina game, the Miracle in the Mine Shaft, and I believe that started at 9 o'clock Eastern. Because I think the game ended close to maybe 11 o'clock or something crazy when I was at that game, because it was just a bizarre finish. And I think I remember calling in the post-game show leaving the stadium, the Sun Bowl out there. So this is not uncharted waters, but definitely unique waters.
I remember celebrating at Bowley's after that game, Ellerbe, which is no longer with us, but Shirley was a part of that post game. She says she remembers being here.
Yeah,
on into the morning, and we'll have another one coming up this Friday.
Look, you would take another Miracle in the Mine Shaft finish if the boys can go out to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and do like they did in 2008 and not win a Conference USA championship, but get another win out there.
That would be fantastic. All right, Ellerbe here. Got Brian Bailey coming up in just a little bit. We'll talk some NFL with Double B. Some stories from the NFL yesterday, Ellerbe. Tom Brady and the Bucs look awesome.
Yes.
Cam Newton looks done. All of us, that was went from 2 or 3 weeks ago. Boy, the Patriots got this guy for nothing. They're going to win the division, go back to the playoffs. Now, after yesterday, Cam Newton stinks. He needs to be benched. That's another thing I love about the NFL. It is so week to week, and everything changes, and it's so much fun to follow.
And the only undefeated team is the Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
But Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs is still the star of the league, and Cliff Kingsbury was an idiot. Now he's like a genius again.
If you probably didn't stay up for that one.
No, I did
That
not.
was wild. I had stopped watching it, and the Seahawks were up by 10 in the fourth quarter, and the Cardinals able to come back and tie it, send it to overtime. Cliff Kingsbury ices his own kicker. The guy misses the next one. They end up getting it back, winning. It was wild, which it seems like a lot of Seahawks games are that way.
Yeah, which is crazy because that's one of the hardest places to go and win. That in Kansas City, I think, they're just notorious with they have a true strong NFL 12th man there, and I think with this, obviously the COVID situation, that obviously affects a lot of what's going on. I still think my son it was just funny, asked on the way to school, he's like, Dad, what do you think the best division in the NFL is? And I had to think about it for a second. I could go ahead and eliminate, the one right off the top of my head, but I had to think maybe the NFC West.
Yeah,
is probably the best division in football.
Everybody is 500 or better. Yeah, everybody's over 500. Even if the Rams lose tonight, everybody will be over 500.
And then the NFC.
I would say the AFC North
was my next. It was my next.
If
choice.
you think the Browns are good, they're 5-2.
Yeah, they just lost OBJ, but he throws me some curveballs like that occasionally, and I have to think.
Good question, kid.
It was definitely a top of the morning question, because I told him I said I didn't watch the game, but I told him that the Cardinals had won. So anyway, he keeps me on my toes.
Chandler, your Panthers fall to the Saints in a really good game. They tried a 65-yarder from Sly, trying to win that thing on Sunday, Chandler?
Yeah,
it would have been a NFL record.
65,
he
is that
came
what it was?
up inches short.
I mean, it was right down Broadway.
Oh, it was perfect.
Did you think you made it?
Right off the foot, right off the toe, I thought, oh my God, this is going in. And when it fell to the ground, I didn't know if it's one of those weird things where you don't know if it went in or if it's short. And unfortunately, I saw the referees, signal no good, and I was like, oh man. And they showed the replay from like a side angle, and I was like, oh my God, I'm talking inches. And football, what they say, it's a game of inches. So.
Well, and that's what I mean. You're talking about the NFL being so week to week, Clip. It's funny how the announcers, and I watched some of the pregame show on Fox and a few of them, and they were just talking about Matt Rule, about how he's gotten into Carolina and just made some changes and is really progressing. But how much everyone praised Ron Rivera being hired at Washington. If Rivera was still in Carolina with Teddy Bridgewater, if they just would have made some wholesale changes personnel wise, are the Panthers still the same under Ron Rivera? And then what are the Redskins or the Washington football team doing if they don't have Ron Rivera?
I don't know. Washington's probably still got 2 wins, no matter who their coach is.
But it's just funny how they praise and
all these, especially, and it happens with retread coaches. Like Rule is different, but 1 year there's Mike McCarthy used to be the best coach in the NFL, right?
He was. Now look at him.
He is going to be lucky. And I know that Stephen Jones came out today and said that Mike McCarthy is their guy. He's going to do great things here, all that, but. If they keep getting beat like this week in, week out, he's not going to make it a year. There's no way.
They can't.
Well, here's the thing about both of those coaches, Ron Rivera and Matt Rule. I think both of them are players' coaches. I think they do a good job of creating a culture with their programs where their players play for them. And I think I saw that in 9 years with Ron Rivera in Carolina, and I'm starting to see it already with Matt Rule. So if you can get your players to play for you and run through a brick wall for you,
Well, they're not playing for McCarthy in Dallas right now. Rodney Harrison ripped the Cowboys everybody stood there and watched Andy Dalton get his head knocked off in Washington yesterday. So the NFL is definitely that's the great thing about the NFL. I think it's just full of storylines and what's going on. And then now you have, how about Antonio Brown? It's just funny to me, Tom Brady deems him okay to play back in the league, and no one forgets that he has some trial coming up in December and all the other stuff, off the field stuff. It's just funny. It's the United States of forgiveness and the United States of let's tear some people down, but it's just funny the issues of how they follow these stories, this and that.
I think the NFL too feels the most normal out of any sport in 2020. Would you say?
Yes.
It started on time. The games are on Sunday. Now, yeah, we did have a Tuesday game a couple weeks ago, but
they made that seem normal. They made the Monday doubleheader last week when the Chiefs played at 4 o'clock.
We're like watching it in here, like, yeah, this is right. Yeah, this is what's supposed to be on.
It's just kind of like, yeah, like what you didn't miss anything. What else was going on? I agree with you 100%.
All right, Ellerbe, thanks for joining us here on a Monday, and we will talk to you again next week.
That's right. Fun week all week. We're going to cram a regular day and a game day all in on a Friday. So look forward to the Pirates back on the football field this Friday night.
They say nothing good happens after midnight. Not true, folks. The U.S. Sailor 5th quarter call-in show happens after midnight.
I got to hear a clipper.
Oh man, I'm kind of afraid of Atticus call.
I'm afraid of all the calls.
We have our poll question up on all our social media. If you think the Pirates are going to cover, win, or if Tulsa's going to win or cover, so maybe
I voted on that poll.
Maybe Atticus. So which one did you pick?
Again, subject to change, but I said
it's a Monday afternoon
ECU
poll.
Covers.
Yes, I like that.
Do we hear some?
I think we're going to hear a lot of that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think we're going to hear some of that coming up after the game.
I do think we need to implement this week on the 5th quarter, though, how many you've had.
Before you start talking?
You stop, let's go to, Jim in Farmville. How many have you had?
How many you had?
20.
Before they say, Clip, how are you? You just go ahead and ask them a question first.
All right. How many you had?
Jim in Farmville, you're up next. How many have you had? Welcome to the show.
There you go. That's going to be if we hear that, we know the number's pretty big.
Yeah, then all right, on double digits.
Thanks, Ellerbe.
See you next week.
We got some Mike Houston comments coming up later on in the show. We got some ECU talk on the way, and what is going on with Brian Bailey's Cowboys? We'll talk about it when we return on Pirate Radio Live on a Monday. Back with you after this.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you think you might have been exposed to COVID-19? Maybe you're planning to visit parents, family, or friends. Arc Point Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. Arc Point Labs of Greenville offers easy solutions to COVID-19 testing. Arc Point Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. Arc Point Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is former ECU tight end Bryce Williams from my friends at the Auto Store Group. If you're in the market for a quality used vehicle, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. The Auto Store Group, your hometown store and Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Go Pirates!
Hi, this is Luke Kuechly. Last season, I was captain on defense. This season, since so many of us will be watching football from home, I'm football watching with Pepsi. And you know me, I pour everything I've got into it. All right, football watchers, let's do this. Opening click-offs. Here we go. Click on, click off. Click on, click off. Stretch that thumb. You can't have finger fatigue bringing you down in the postseason. Nice job. And my favorite, second half sip-offs. Pepsi's up, lift, pull, open. Ice cold Pepsi and watching football. Nothing better.
It's not game day without a delicious, refreshing Pepsi, the official soft drink of the National Football League. Head to your nearest retailer, grab your Pepsi before kickoff, then sit back, relax, and cheer on your favorite team. Pepsi, made for football watching.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glenburnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street, and get a Fast Pass for only $9.99 at the new location on Glenburnie Road in New Bern.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Weekdays are a great time to visit North Carolina State Parks. The best time to learn about nature is to be able to look, listen, and feel its natural beauty. A visit to the North Carolina State Parks is perfect for homeschoolers, scout groups, and teachers looking for a fun field trip during the week. You'll be amazed at all the natural wildlife you'll see when you experience the beauty of each North Carolina State Park. Visit ncparks.gov to get all the information about the closest park near you.
Temperatures are in the low 30s at 10 a.m., increasing sharply to 75 degrees by 1 p.m., and then dropping into the teens by 10 p.m. So before you go to work, put on some gloves, pack some shorts, and a parka. That should cover you for the day.
Your heating and cooling is taking a beating. Guarantee your family's comfort all fall and winter with a new train system. It's hard to stop a train. For a limited time, get a new train system with 0% financing for 60 months. Go to DelcorInc.com for more information. Delcor, the service professionals. See your independent train dealer for details. Call 1-888-534-6898 for details.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. It's easy to see mosquitoes and fire ants, but don't forget about moisture and termites destroying your home from underneath. Visit the professionals at PestTech online at pesttechofgreenville.com for all of your pest control needs. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, welcome back to the program. Clip Rock here on a Monday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We've got Brian Bailey joining us in just a moment, as he'll be dialing into the program. Shirley, anything at the Shirley Rhodes news desk we need to know about on this Monday?
No, just keeping an eye on the Twitter. Nothing that's popped up that's of note. I mean, obviously, the big news out of the NFL, Odell Beckham is out for the year. He tore his ACL. Everybody's still talking about DK Metcalf running down.
That was insane.
What's his name? Buddha Baker. Buddha Baker, which I was watching that game, and I was like, who is that? And when they showed the replay and saw that he was probably a good 10, 15 yards behind Buddha and still outran everybody, and was able to run him down. So
almost not fair a guy that size can run that fast.
Well, and not just that, but Chris Collingsworth made a good point, which was, he said, if the Seahawks go on and win the Super Bowl this year, they're going to go back and they're going to look at that play as what turned it around, was like the play of the year for them, because their defense was able to stall Arizona on that turnover. Points. They didn't get any points out of that. So I thought that was a pretty interesting observation, and that's probably B calling in right now.
Cannot wait to talk some NFL with Brian Bailey right now, and we've really got to dissect yesterday's slate, including the Washington football team and what they did to the Cowboys on Sunday. Double B, welcome to the show. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How about them? Bailey, look, you've seen a lot of ups and a lot of downs. Is this like a new low for your Cowboys, what happened yesterday?
No, heavens no. No, it's not a new low. We've been lower than this.
Okay, so you can get lower, is what you're saying. That yesterday, I picked Washington to win. I thought there was a little turmoil going on with Dallas. I thought, with the lack of really Dallas's O-line, which has been good for, a decade now, and all the injuries there, obviously the injury at the quarterback position, I just thought Washington could sneak out with a field goal victory, but was not expecting that beatdown they put on them yesterday.
Well, I looked at it and knew the offensive line. I mean, this is like a double-A offensive line, and they're not even triple-A. They're just trying to hang on with a couple of rookies, a couple of guys that haven't played a whole lot. I knew it was a bad matchup on the defensive line, so I wasn't expecting, miracle. I didn't think Zeke was going to run for 150, but, You know, they're just not a team that creates any turnovers, and they tend to turn it over. Now, I think they only turned it over once, if I remember right. But they're not any good. And it told a whole lot when Andy Dalton, when he got his head taken off, that nobody tried to start a fight. Because back in the day, Billy Joe Dupree and Cliff Harris and Charlie Waters and even Roger Staubach would have knocked his block off. So I think that tells a lot about where this team is right now. I don't know if McCarthy can get them back or not.
Yeah, that's where I was going next. I mean, you hate to judge a coach after, his first season and after week 7 of year 1, but man, they just look completely lost. They look unmotivated. Every bad mark of not only on the field, but locker room stuff too. And, Stephen Jones came out and said that McCarthy's definitely the man for the job. If you're Mike McCarthy, you probably don't want to hear that, right? The old vote of confidence. No. That's when you get fired.
Exactly. You don't want the vote of confidence, but that was just a lackluster, effort. And if they were 6-1 and they came out and played like that, you say, well, that happens from time to time. But when you're fighting for your life, and all you heard the week before was, we've got games against the Redskins and the Eagles, and we win both of those. We're in good shape in the NFC East, despite, our slow start and everything, But they can't stop anybody. They make every running back they play look like Herschel Walker, and they're in turmoil. I don't know if they're running a promo right now for the Eagles and Cowboys games for Sunday Night Football, and I swear they should put them with a pillow fight going on. Zeke should have a big pillow hitting one of the Eagles with it, because that's what it is. It's a big pillow fight. And I don't know. I'm surprised the NFL didn't try to move that game and call it a COVID move.
The NFC East continues to stink, and they continue to get primetime games. It's great. And now, Bailey, how are we going to be able to keep our awesome Thanksgiving meals down, having to watch Washington and Dallas play again on Thanksgiving?
Well, you'll be able to celebrate probably. If you got one win. It's just,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, because I was really shocked. I didn't think Andy Dalton would come in and set the world on fire. But I thought he would come in and be effective, and I thought he could I thought he would be more than just somebody to control the game, a game controller. I thought he would throw some really good passes. There's a great receiving core, but CeeDee Lamb played like a rookie in the game yesterday. He had 3 drops, I think, early on. Mark Cooper played pretty well. Michael Gallup and I caught the same amount of passes, and I didn't play.
You did not.
So,
you are not a participant in that one. Looking around the NFL, Bailey, NFC East real quick before we move on. I've seen my team play every week. You've seen your team. We're still right there in the division, and the Eagles are 2-4-1 right now after beating the Giants. They got to be, I guess, the favorite at this point. But as bad as we are, we still got a shot. Do you even look at it that way after you watch a disgusting performance like that?
No, I don't think I do right now. Now, if they can, somehow rally together and start playing better football, then yes, they've got a chance. They've got as good a chance as anybody in the division. They've got enough talent if they get some people back. But now, right now, I look at it as, if the Redskins or the Washington football team can figure out some things. Ron Rivera, that's a great story with him fighting cancer, and he's a good coach. I really thought, you look at some of the coaching hires. Rivera I liked, but I really wanted the Cowboys to go offense, and I think Rivera more of defense. Matt Rule, I thought, I just don't think he's got the experience. Well, he's done a great job with the Panthers, I think, and they had a chance to send that game to overtime, yesterday, and they're kind of in the thick of the things in the NFC South. But I just don't know if this whole McCarthy thing. I just really expected, some different things to happen. At worst case, with Dak out and even with your second string quarterback out, your defense, they should be able to play some defense and be able to do something, but they have done nothing at all.
That they haven't. Yesterday, Bailey, I also saw for the first time I can remember a defensive player celebrating that an offensive player scored a touchdown. That happened in the Detroit-Atlanta game. Todd Gurley tries to pull up, can't quite pull up at the 1-yard line, scores a touchdown. The Lions linebacker is looking at the ref with his arms raised, saying he's in, touchdown.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
That was nutty.
The Lions come back down the field, score, and win that game.
as soon as Gurley fell down, and then it was kind of like, well, the ball broke the plane, so it's a touchdown. As soon as it happened, you could almost go through your NFL scripts and figure out how that was going to end, because the Falcons were going to find another way to lose a football game, and they did. I don't think the Falcons are all that bad, but they find a way to lose.
That they do each and every week. Bailey, the only undefeated team is Pittsburgh. We've watched NFL so much over the years that it still takes us a while to really believe in a team. Like, do you believe the Steelers are one of the teams to beat in the AFC, or does it still go through Kansas City, Baltimore, other places?
Well, I think we'll soon find out with Pittsburgh and Baltimore hooking up when they do. But I think Pittsburgh's really good, definitely a playoff team. I think that the road to the Super Bowl still goes through Kansas City, and Baltimore will have something to say about that. But those are two really, really good teams, and that's the one thing. I don't know if I told you this today or not, but as bad as my favorite team is, I just enjoy watching the league. I enjoy the 4 o'clock games. I enjoy the Sunday night game. I wish I could have stayed up later and watched the rest of it because I went to bed. But just watching the whole league. So thankfully we do have football, although my Cowboys would just as soon have it as a COVID cancellation. But at least it's fun to watch.
Hopefully a fun one tonight. Could be the Bears like to muck it up, make it ugly, Bailey, and they'll try to do that against the Rams tonight. Could be a kind of what we saw with the Panthers-Bears, lower scoring game, and what defense is better wins tonight. But that's the matchup for Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good matchup there, and World Series has the night off, so they get back with Game 6 tomorrow night. So good start to the sports week.
Bailey, let's talk Pirates coming off the bye week and the storyline there, getting the quarterback back on the practice field. Holden Ahlers will be a go when ECU takes on Tulsa coming up Friday night, 9 o'clock. We just saw Tulsa play on a Friday and look very good against South Florida. What do you think about this matchup coming up?
Well, I was a little surprised that East Carolina was a 19-point underdog. I was thinking closer to maybe 10, maybe 12, but that's neither here nor there. When you're 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdown underdog, they're going to be an underdog in this game. I remember what happened last year when the Pirates really thought they were going to win that game against Tulsa to end the season at Dowdy-Ficklin. So I know the guys have something that, certainly to play for, and they still, it's hard to talk about can you go to a bowl because of the bowls keep canceling left and right, and they just want to win a game. They want to have a winning season somehow, and they've got to get cranking on if they're going to do that. Obviously, it's going to be a tough test in Tulsa. Friday night, late night. It's going to be difficult. I think the Pirates are going to have to go back to where they're flinging it around the barnyard, or at least throwing it very effectively to the receivers, and then those freshman running backs, they've been really, really good, and I hope they keep it up. Now we know how to say Rajay's name. We'll be good.
Rajay is the name, right, Shirley?
It's not Raji, Raja, or Raja. It's Rajay.
There you go, Brian Bailey.
He fumbles it a couple of times, and he's going to be saying, just call me whatever you want.
Well, right now, we call him a machine, a monster, because he has looked awesome running the football for the Pirates. They're going to need him. They're going to need a strong defensive performance. Tulsa, man, I don't know what clicked with them last year, Bailey. I really thought that Philip Montgomery was going to end up like the other Montgomery and be fired. I really did, and he's able to not only survive but thrive now with that Golden Hurricane team, as they are off to a fantastic start this year.
Yeah, and they've only played, 3 games. They beat a loss, rather, to number 11 Oklahoma State in their opener. Then they had to wait 2 weeks and play number 11 UCF, and they beat them then. And then they had to wait 2 more weeks to get a chance to play South Florida. So now they have to wait just a week. It's a regular week for them, except it's a Friday to Friday week. But they haven't had a chance to play a whole lot. That's got to be difficult for them, because coaches, it's the same old thing. I talked to Coach Houston today, and he came up with that same line that all of them use, well, this is Monday, but it's our Tuesday, and so you have to try to figure out what day it is. But it'll be fun Friday night. One of those things. Stay up late. I told everybody earlier, take a nap and stay up late, and you guys have a post-game show that'll last until wee hours of the morning.
We got Bailey joining us on Friday. He'll handle his news duties, and expecting to have you as part of the 7 o'clock hour on Friday, right, Bailey?
Yes, sir. 7 o'clock. We're rolling in there. We'll go grab something to eat real quick. Then we'll head back to WNCT, get set for Pirate football, and get set to. I believe there's a big high school game, private schools. I think JP2 and Parrot.
Yeah, that's right. Little Friday night doubleheader for you coming up. And you said it a moment ago with the NFL games. This is a sports fan's dream, all that we've had these last few days. When you think about the wackiness of the Sunday night football game last night, crazy finishes yesterday. You had the Indiana-Penn State ending on Saturday. And then I was not watching it when it happened, but I happened to be scrolling Twitter. And the end of the World Series game the other night, when everybody's losing their mind, I was like, what is everybody talking about? That was one of the craziest endings you'll ever see.
Yeah, it really was, and I was the same way. I'd gone on, and I was trying to watch it in bed, and I fell asleep, and then I heard a bunch of screaming, so I kind of put one eye up, and I saw the ending like that, and it was like, when you're half asleep, you don't know what the heck's going on, but then we got to see the replays, and that was as crazy as it gets. When you lose a game like that, that can cost you the whole series because, as coaches say, the old cliche about don't let one loss turn into two, but that's the kind that can turn into two. So credit the Dodgers for coming back and getting that victory in Game 5, and now I think the percentage is, 68% of the time, if it's tied 2-2, the winner of Game 5 wins the series. So the Dodgers, they're in the driver's seat. If they can get one more win, they got 2 shots at it.
One thing the Rays do have is pitching, and they'll send Blake Snell out to the mound coming up on Tuesday night. Tony Gosselin will get the ball for the Dodgers Game 6. That'll be Tuesday night, 8:08 on Fox. All right, Double B, thanks for joining us today. And if folks missed it, they can check out Drew Dudzik on the Brian Bailey Show coming up at 6 o'clock right here on Pirate Radio. What'd you talk to Coach Dudzik about today?
We talked about his outside receivers. We talked a lot about special teams because I'm really always intrigued about special teams and the job that Blake Prohl has done, with the block punt in the Georgia State game and what goes into some of the work there. But Coach Dudzik was very, very good. I mean, these guys are really top-notch, and to in a short week to give an hour of your time to us, I'm really appreciative of it, and I think the Pirate fans will be too.
Sounds good. Bailey, thanks for joining us, man. Have a good rest of your week.
Sounds good. Take care.
Double B, Brian Bailey, joining us on the Fixed NC live line. Check out the Brian Bailey Show coming up in a couple of hours as he talked to Drew Dudzik at noon. We'll replay that coming up at 6 o'clock. All right, we'll take a time out, come back, wrap up hour number 1. Also, I've got a guest alert coming up on the other side of this timeout. I will talk to a former Pirate baseball player who is currently a major leaguer. I will let you think about who that might be, get your guesses in, and I will tell you when we return after this.
Hey, this is Jay from Villa Verde. Did you know that Villa Verde opened up its second location? Yes, it's Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard across the hospital. This new location is a fast, casual environment where you can make your own bowls for only $9.95. Choose from our fresh ingredients, from our toppings bars, or enjoy an amazing rotisserie chicken. We promise you can be in and out in less than 15 minutes. For a quick, healthy meal at an affordable price, visit us at Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
Hey y'all, it's Lisa with Halloween Express, Greenville's Halloween superstore for 22 years. It's been a crazy year, but Halloween is not canceled. We have everything you need to make this Halloween one to remember. And did someone say mask? Yeah, we have the largest selection of masks in Greenville, plus every other costume you can think of. Come visit our new location in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. Halloween Express, what are you going to be?
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
That's right. It's the most wonderful time of the year to get your car washed at the Shine Factory in Greenville. Now through the end of the year, the Shine Factory is offering their unlimited Lava Factor car wash for only $20 per month or the Manager Special Wash for only $25 per month. Simply pay one low price and wash all month, anytime, with free high-powered vacuums. Plus, don't forget to pick up some gift cards for family and friends. The Shine Factory is open daily from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. on Memorial Drive across from Lowe's.
Hi, this is Billy Parker, and football is here. Tailgate at home with family and friends this season and let Parker's Barbecue do all the cooking. While tailgating at your house, let us provide all the food with our delicious chicken, barbecue, seafood, and sides. We can customize packages for any size group, big or small. Give us a call today and place your order. Parker's and football, a winning combination. Also shipping nationwide at parkersbbq.com. Parker's Barbecue is how friends and family come together.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I'm here. State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
We are back, baby. We are back.
CPW's is back. Back open every day for lunch. CPW's classic menu is also back with all of your favorites like tortellini CPW's, Cajun chicken and pasta, classic lasagna, the garbage pizza, the stromboli, calzone, Atlantic salmon, the Cajun fried shrimp wrap, and more. Start every meal off with your favorite beverage and CPW's fresh baked bread and garlic butter. CPW's is back. Back open for lunch in the Stanton Square Shopping Center next to the hospital. Follow CPW's on Facebook for daily updates.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ronnie's Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ronnie's Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, Pirates supporting Pirates.
This is ECU head baseball coach Cliff Godwin, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
PRL this afternoon is brought to you by Bud Light. It reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. And as we head back into Pirate Radio Live clip, we just saw a tweet that former ECU cornerback Josh Hawkins, who was just recently signed to the practice squad for the Carolina Panthers, has been released. Not sure if it had anything to do with the fact that some pictures surfaced yesterday on Twitter with Josh Hawkins and a female friend who attended someplace in Charlotte without wearing a mask. And, of course, with the Panthers having some issues with COVID-related illnesses, not sure if that had anything to do with it, but he was released today.
Yep, saw those pictures and knew that was not good for Josh Hawkins. Again, whatever you think about this, it's an optics thing, but also, Chandler, what was going on with the Panthers last week? They had to send people home, right? With COVID.
They started the week out doing a lot of virtual meetings, and Monday I don't think they show up to the practice facility anyway, but they did a lot of things from home on Monday and Tuesday, and then I think they actually went back to practice fully on Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember, but the Panthers started off with a lot of COVID issues last week with like Joey Sly starting on the list. They had a offensive lineman go on there. And then Razul Douglas, we saw him make the list in the end of the week, too.
Yeah, and for that reason, you want your players to be doing what they need to do so you can get a game in and get practices in and have a full roster. And when you're, if you're Christian McCaffrey, or I guess in this case a healthy player, Robbie Anderson doing that, that's one thing. You're going to get a talking to and you might
sit out a quarter,
get a fine or whatever. But when you're on the practice squad, you're done. They'll find another guy.
The ice is very thin.
Yeah, and that's what we saw with Josh Hawkins there. All right, I mentioned it heading into the break. Get your guesses in. Who is the former Pirate that is now currently in minor league baseball that will be joining me at 3:15 Tuesday on Pirate Radio Live? Chandler, do you want to throw out a guess?
Well, I had my player, but I think he's on an active roster. I was going to say Sean Armstrong.
Oh, okay. All right. Shirley, do you have a guess of this player?
Bryant Packard?
No. I'll give you a clue. When I was texting with him, he said his team, his NFL team, the Packers, are 5-1, and Mike McCarthy is struggling, and he's very happy about that. He's a Wisconsin native, Packers fan. Evan Krasinski, the big left-hander, will join us on the show coming up tomorrow. I told him I wanted to talk about World Series, what he's up to, and football, and it sounds like he only wants to talk about football because he's fired up about Green Bay right now.
Is he still in the St. Louis organization?
I believe so, Chandler. I think he is.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to the big lefty about that.
Good get.
Coming up at 3:15 on Tuesday right here on Pirate Radio Live. Coming up at 5 o'clock, Troy D is going to join me on the program, and we'll run through a lot of what Mike Houston had to say today at his press conference. But Shirley, let's hit a little bit of that right now as we wrap up hour number one of the program today. Here was Mike Houston's opening comments.
Exciting matchup this week. Tulsa, we all got a chance to see them Friday night against South Florida. It was enjoyable to sit and watch the game, but still take away the same things I expected going into that game, and that's we're facing one of the better teams, if not possibly the best team on our schedule. I think just a very solid team from top to bottom. They're strong in all three phases. Most of the guys are the group that played against us last year. It's a team that is made up of fourth and fifth year players that have been in the program for multiple years, very experienced, very big, very athletic, good football team. So going to be a great matchup for us. Excited coming off the bye, able to get some guys some rest and get a head start on Tulsa with it being a Friday night game. So for us in the program, today's Tuesday. For everybody else in the world, today's Monday. But we started practice on Saturday for the game this coming Friday. So it's going to be a quick week. The kids will be excited to kick off Friday night and get another chance to play on the national stage, and should be an exciting matchup for us.
All right, everything changes with the schedule, with the game being on a Friday night. That includes the rounds of COVID testing the team has to do, and Mike Houston was asked about that schedule.
So we tested today. We will test again tomorrow, and then we'll test Thursday morning. So we'll test 3 times this week.
And again, those tests are obviously not public, but you start to hear things leak out when players are tested during the week, and that's what we got to hope for, that those come back negative and all the Pirates available will be able to go coming up on Friday night. Speaking of available Pirates, Shirley, let's hit cut 9. Potentially some good news on Deontay Smith, as he was asked about an update on the left tackle Deontay Smith and also Noah Henderson.
I think there's a chance you'll see Deontay. He's progressing along well, and starting to practice a little bit more. Noah's probably still going to be a while.
All right, so there's an update on those two guys. Some potentially positive news on Deontay Smith. Man, that would be a huge boost to the offensive line, which has been playing better these last couple of games. Mike Houston 12, Shirley, was asked how the players have handled the bye week.
Well, I think that, you had to get beyond the Navy game last week, and I thought they did a good job of that. But I thought, Saturday's practice was very spirited, great energy on both sides of the ball. I said it last week. I wish we'd have played last weekend because you really felt like you were getting some momentum going. But at the end of the day, it's good to have the guys back that we would have been without again this past weekend going into this game. So I think the spirits are high. The kids know we got a challenge in front of us, but I think that they have confidence in the way that they're playing. And so I expect us to be very energetic and really have a great week of practice going into that game Friday night.
All right, Mike Houston talking about the players and the bye week. And also, Shirley, let's look back at last year's loss to Tulsa. And, how much of a factor is that game late in the year last year as you head into this game? This is Cut 7.
Well, I mean, I don't think our team really compares in any way to last year's team. I think we all know that from a competitive standpoint and just for a lot of reasons. But, the one thing that stood out to me during that matchup last year was just how big physically Tulsa was on both sides of the ball. Big receivers, big DBs, big defensive front, big offensive front. It's just a large football team. So same guys are back, so you do know what to expect right there. And that's the reason I think that, our ability to play fast and play a very physical game Friday night is going to be very important.
All right, there's the head football coach of the Pirates, Mike Houston. We'll hear more from Coach Houston coming up later on in our program. Troy D will join us in the 5 o'clock hour. Ronnie Woodward coming up around 4:30 as we'll talk more ECU football. When we return, we'll get you ready for Monday Night Football. We'll talk ECU Tulsa and look at some other games on the slate for this week and recap what happened over the weekend. We'll do it all with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu from Barstool Sports. He joins us as we kick off Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. We're back after this.
Hey, this is Chef David Finelli from Pop's Old Fashioned Cheeseburgers. Today I'm going to tell you about our family meal deals for 4 hungry adults. We offer Finelli's Cafe lasagna, chicken parmesan, eggplant parmesan, spaghetti and meatballs, our hamburger steak and gravy with mashed potatoes, pork chops. If you'd like to order, please go to our Pop's Old Fashioned Cheeseburgers Facebook page or our website. Choose your meal, order online, pay online, roll up, and we'll get it right out to your car. Thank you from the Pops crew.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Banking is banking until service is not the same. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust, and this year has been unusual, but we have continued to focus on what has always been important to us, our customers. When businesses needed access to the Paycheck Protection Program, our team of local bankers worked around the clock to successfully keep our customers open and their employees working. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? We are Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity, next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
This is Brandon Tate with Firstborn Food Distribution, and coming up on Saturday, November 21st, we're going to feed 5,000 people. We need 2 things. 1, we need you to help volunteer and help deliver this food. 2, we need your money. It costs over $16,000 to do this, and we need you to step up to the plate with your wallets and your time. To donate or volunteer, please visit pr927fm.com and click on our ad. Firstborn Food Distribution. Come feed your neighbors.
You've seen it on TV, and now you can experience it for yourself. Introducing the Warrior Zone, Greenville's first and ever only Ninja Warrior training facility. This is John from the Warrior Zone, where community, fun, and fitness collide. We offer weekly ninja training classes, memberships, one-on-one coaching, competition teams, and open gym. Not a ninja? No problem. We work with everyone and want people to feel encouraged when they leave Warrior Zone. Make your life better with Ninja Fun at the Warrior Zone. Old Tall Road, next to Plant and See at warriorzone.ninja.
Love Jersey Mike subs? Love them times 12 with our new catering box. Packed full of a dozen individually wrapped subs. They're yours for the sharing. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
It's Jersey Mike's time. One Club Supreme? Check. What's Aaron's Way? Only $2.99 for Pepsi and Lay's? I'm in. Order your sub Aaron's Way on the Jersey Mike's app or visit a Jersey Mike's store.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by The Man Cave, Greenville's newest premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Book your appointment today at mancaveandnails.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Greenville Utilities Neighbor to Neighbor program provides help for those who need temporary assistance with their utility costs, and you can make a difference. Your tax-deductible donation can be added to your GUC bill each month, or you can make a one-time donation, and GUC matches all donations up to $20,000 each year. Consider helping a neighbor with GUC's Neighbor to Neighbor program. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live here on a Monday. Got Ronnie Woodward joining us in the Pirate Radio studios coming up in just a little bit. Got more Mike Houston on the way. Coming up in hour number 3 of the show as well. And so Shirley, we've been playing generic music. Now Shirley has gone to the instrumentals.
Yeah, and this was terrible.
And in these karaoke versions, sometimes there's background singing, and it's kind of awful background singing.
It's really bad, and I didn't vet this one because I was kind of doing it in between trying to do some other stuff, and this one slipped through the cracks, unfortunately.
So this is...
It's really bad.
Was this
Sorry.
I'm So Into You?
Yes. Supposed to be SWV.
SWV, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
And this is really bad.
I guess they set it up with bad singing, so when you're doing karaoke, it mixes in with the bad singing.
It probably more so harmonizes with you than so much
than the actual singer. That's hilarious.
It's really bad.
That's great. I love it. Keep them coming, Shirley Rhodes. Good stuff. All right, let's head out to the Fixed NC Live line. We will talk about what went down over the weekend and also what's coming up tonight and the coming week with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu from Barstool Sports. He joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Clip. How are you?
Doing good. Last night, Jeff, as we were watching that wild one, Seattle and Arizona, I saw you continuously talking about how Seattle is the luckiest team in football. I'm assuming you were trying to throw a reverse jinx there. Did you have the Cardinals last night?
I did, but I'm not. I actually mean that. If you watch their games and actually think that they don't get every break known to mankind, you're crazy. And it's been years. And look, I'm not going to tell you they're not a good football team. They are. Russell Wilson, I think, is the best quarterback in the league. But they do get seemingly every 50-50 ball, as you will. They always seem to get the 2 feet down. They always seem to just throw the ball up, and it works out. But I'll tell you right now, late in the game, the big penalty on Metcalf was kind of the issue. Clip, the antithesis of what the Seattle Seahawks are the play that Metcalf made to tackle Budda Baker. That is a quintessential Seattle play.
Yeah.
No other team in the league could do that. And not only could do that, but managed to get the team into the red zone, prevent a touchdown on the tackle, and then stop them, and they don't get anything out of the drive. That was just quintessential Seattle Seahawks.
It's amazing the Cardinals came away with that win last night, and you're right. Seattle's history of Russell Wilson getting out of 5 or 6 tackles and throwing one up and it being called for a touchdown, that's happened time and time again. Yeah.
I'll tell you one other thing involving that. I've said many times before, and I know people see me doing the streams and stuff, but again, there's other people there, there's people talking, there's other things going on. I'm actually moving in 3 weeks, and one of the features of my new house that I'm very excited about is I have a finished basement. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm involving a camera up in the corner, and I'm going to film myself watching games. And you'll hear what goes on as I watch games. And those games will be perfect, games like that.
Looking forward to watching some Eagles games when that happens. Speaking of the Eagles, Jeff, after seeing what happened in Washington yesterday, and maybe you didn't even need to see that, are the Eagles the favorite to win the East? Or are they an overwhelming favorite to win the East? Or do you still think this is a division that anybody can win?
Well, I think at this point they're overwhelming favorites. I think there was a little bit of excitement maybe after you found out that Dak Prescott wasn't going to come back, that maybe Andy Dalton could, maybe come in and do something, but he was a complete wreck. Now he's out with an injury. We had to Ben DiNucci, who, James Madison, I want to say Mike Houston coached him at some point, right?
Yeah, correct. Yep, at James Madison, yep.
Yeah, so, I mean, defensively, they're a complete mess that we've talked about. Listen, if I'm Jerry Jones, I would do whatever it takes to go get Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, I think, would immediately vault them back into the favorite to win this division because they have much better skill position players than the Eagles have. And defensively, you'd have to think they get a little bit better. I would do whatever I had to do to make Jameis Winston happen for the Dallas Cowboys. But no, at this point, the Eagles should run away with this division. I really, and plus they're going to get reinforcements back as early as this week. So, yeah, I mean they should run away. Yeah.
Looking at the NFC, Jeff, the Packers 5-1 after a win over Houston yesterday. Seattle drops to 5-1. The Cardinals have 5 wins after beating the Seahawks. Saints 4-2, and they were able to do that without some of their stars. 5-1 Bears tonight. Where do the 5-2 Bucks sit, in your opinion, in the NFC as far as power rankings and best teams in that conference? Where's Tampa Bay?
Well, I would probably sit them third. For me, the pecking order would be the Green Bay Packers, Seattle, then like Tampa, New Orleans, kind of them grouping up top. And then you're going to kind of funnel in, the Bears, the Cardinals, the LA Rams. The Cardinals are intriguing, man, because if they can play like they did in the fourth quarter defensively, or even in the second half, they're going to beat a lot of teams. I mean, remember, they did that last night, and I know they gave up 34 points, but, Chandler Jones didn't play last night. He's huge to the pressure they get. I think their secondary is actually pretty good. I know, again, it wasn't kind of on magnification last night, but you're not going to do that against Seattle. Seattle's a good offensive team. But, yeah, I would kind of put them in that third column. I still think the jury's out. I think the Saints are really good, and I think the Bucs just luckily don't have to worry about a home field this year because, if they start getting more fans in there and, the Bucs could never win when it comes to that. I mean, the Saints always had the best home field advantage. But, yeah, I would probably put them third or fourth. I still think, they have to kind of figure it out just because I don't think Tom Brady's going to play like that every week. That was the best games Tom Brady's played in probably 3 years yesterday. So I would put them third or fourth.
Talking to the BMOC, Jeff Nadu, the big man on campus from Barstool Sports. Jeff, coming up tonight, you got Bears and Rams, and the Bears' record is what they are, but we all know they are a shaky 5-1, a solid defense. What can you get from the offense? They take on the Rams. The 6 number seems, a little high, but total at 44.5. What do you think about this matchup tonight on Monday Night Football?
Yeah, it's interesting. It did strike me as a tad high. I think that's a good point by you. One thing I will point out, though, is over the last 7 games as a home favorite of 7 or less for the Rams, they're 6-1 against the number. They've been very good as a home favorite, wildly enough. And this year, as I've said, crowds that could be an issue. So, they kind of have just being at home working out for them now. Look, this game is going to be a low-scoring football game. I got to be honest. But, I'm starting to think at some point, Clip, at what point do maybe we kind of fade it and say, well, maybe not.
Yeah.
We don't need a ton of points for this to find its way over the total. Am I going to bet the over 44? No. But here's what I would do, and I'm not a huge advocate of doing these, but I do think there's some value. I think the Rams win this football game. I just think their quarterback plays better. I actually like their defense a lot, and I think their skill position players are just better than what anything the Rams can or the Bears can throw out. They're at home. They've been good as a favorite. I think you tease them down to a pick 'em. And I think you take this total and you take it down to 38.5, and you play the over. I think it's first to probably 20 wins, and if that's the case, I think it's like 24-20 here. And I'll look that this game goes over the total. I think you might see a big play here or there. The Rams actually have been the best team in football on first down. They get a lot of yards on first down. The Chicago Bears have struggled on early downs. They've also struggled at times, outside of the red zone. So for me, I'm going to look at maybe finding this way over the total. 38.5 is so low. I think we get it over. I think it's 24-20. I'm going to go Rams 24-20.
And we got to be careful when we try to value these teams. We were talking about it Friday. Tony Dunn, my buddy, and I, we pick every game just straight up. And I remember him talking about the Cardinals-Seahawks game, and he said, man, the Cardinals, they look really good. And then he remembers he watched their game against Dallas. And when I was talking about the Rams-Bears game, I kept thinking back to how well Jared Goff and that offense looked against Washington. So you got to watch out who you're watching these teams against, because if you watch that Washington game, I would throw Rams -6 out right now, easy. But you got to think about the competition. But sometimes this Goff and Woods and Kupp and this offense, it really gets rolling, Jeff. And I don't know if they'll be able to do it against the Bears, but again, I guess bottom line, you got to remind yourself of who you're watching these teams play against at all times.
Yeah, and in that case, I think when I talk about the teaser, I think whatever you do, whether you tease it up to 50.5 or to 38.5, I think you're going to get in that realm of points. I think this is probably a 24-20 type of game. But again, 50.5 in an NFL game is high for these two teams. And I think you make a good point with who they played. When you look at the LA Rams, okay, they shut down Dallas. That was impressive. That's when they had Dak.
Yeah.
They shut down the Eagles, but they were struggling. They lost to Buffalo, gave up 35 points, a valiant comeback, but we know the Bills' defense isn't very good. The Giants, big deal. The Redskins, big deal. And then you lose to San Francisco, who, had just been coming back from being mended and still have a lot of guys out. So, I think that's obviously a quality game, but you lost. So what do the Rams really have? These are just two teams I think are kind of overvalued. The Bears are another prime example. Who have they really beaten? I guess the Tampa game was impressive, but, we know that game came down right to the wire. Carolina, solid win, but it wasn't anything crazy. So I think these are two kind of overvalued groups.
Yeah.
That's why, for me, I can't get involved in the actual number. I've got to manipulate, and I think this is a great teaser game.
Jeff, we'll look ahead to some college football. ECU coming off the bye. They are 18-point dogs this Friday night against Tulsa, total at 59.5. Just saw Tulsa knock off South Florida and do it in convincing fashion. And Tulsa, man, they shoulda, woulda, coulda beat Oklahoma State very early on this college football season. They took care of UCF. They take care of South Florida. So this Golden Hurricane team looks to be somewhat the real deal here in the American this year, Jeff. But what do you think about that 18 number against East Carolina? Holden Ayler's coming back for the Pirates this week.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a team that we got to start talking about in the realm of, a Group 6 kind of team. This is a good football team, Tulsa. You mentioned, and I think Oklahoma State is a Final Four kind of candidate. So I wouldn't take any umbrage in losing that game. But Tulsa really showed me something on Friday night, Clip. I was wondering if they had the capability to go out and blow an opponent out. And South Florida is a pretty bad football team, as you know, watching them. I would lay the number here. I'd have no problem doing it. Tulsa's great to lay numbers with because they are so supreme defensively. They have a good signal caller in Zach Smith. He's played at a high level, and they can really, really run the football. Deneric Prince, really good. Corey Taylor, they ran for a ton of yards, and East Carolina has major issues stopping the run. I mean, this group's given up 5 yards a carry, as you know. They gave up over 5 yards a carry in their last game. Look, I know you don't want to hear this, and I'm always straight with you. I got to tell you, I don't really know that it matters who's at quarterback, just being real. Tulsa's really good defensively. Holton Ahlers just doesn't have much time to throw the football. They don't have much time to do really anything. I think this is a similar outcome, 44, 17, 44, 20, something like that.
Big man on campus, Jeff Nadu. We'll talk more ECU and more lines with him coming up later this week and Friday on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Jeff, every Monday you seem to have a look-ahead pick, and last week it was Minnesota plus the points against Michigan. Now, late in the week, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Was it Friday night, where you said you were backing out on that Minnesota play? First of all, good decision, but secondly, what led to that decision for you?
Well, I mean, this isn't something I really do, but this is a different year. I mean, you have, stuff popping up all over the place. I heard through the grapevine there was some coronavirus cases early in the week. As the week went on, I started hearing more and more that the offensive line was going to have major trouble, and they did. And at Thursday night, I said, you know what? Plus I saw, but my big thing, Clip, is I hate betting public dogs.
Yeah.
Public dogs die always. They never win. And when you start seeing, a lot of people in the media, people that are square gamblers, when I see them on something, I'm out, and it worked.
There was a couple of cases of that on Saturday night, and I did get in on Michigan. I did not get in on LSU, but it seemed like everybody was taking South Carolina Saturday night. There just seems to be those games that pop up every week that one side is on.
It's so funny you say that, because I actually took Auburn on Saturday. Auburn was another one of those where the whole world loved Ole Miss.
It was that Ole Miss, yeah.
The SEC has been money this year, fading these public teams. I remember Texas A&M against Florida. That was a good one. So you got to use the public to your benefit, and in college football it works.
On that note, anything stand out to you for this week college football? Have you looked ahead yet?
Yeah, I actually bet earlier Temple Tulane over the total. Temple's been an early favorite of mine, playing overs with. They're really kind of a plethora of over goodness. They go very fast tempo-wise, top 15 in the country. They've got a quarterback in Anthony Russo who can make some really good throws. They have a great receiving core, and Russo makes a lot of mistakes, so he's going to have plays that go the other way. Defensively, I don't think Temple's very good. I think that's been shown. They had a lot of turnover with their roster last year. They got to head down to Tulane. Tulane's been a group, Clip, that my most important advice to anyone betting on college football, go back and watch highlights of games. Tulane actually played really well offensively against UCF, had a lot of good quarterback play, made some big plays. Defensively, they have major issues, though. These are two teams that can't stop anybody. I think it's a very similar game to what we've seen with Temple. 38, 35, 34, 31, games like that. Both these teams get into the mid-30s. This one will get into the 70s. I was blown away to see just 63.5. I'll be all over this one.
Big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, joining us. Give him a follow on Twitter at Jeff Nadu if you don't already. He was doing some college basketball Q&A earlier today through a Serie A pick out there for Italy soccer, and that game's
where it's working, Club.
What's
That's
that?
where it's working.
Yeah. So everybody give them a follow, because you're throwing those out on the weekends and during the weekdays when they play.
Yeah, I'm killing Serie A. I'm 7-3 on the season, up over 5 units. It's been a fun year. I love that league. I spent a lot of time on it. I have a play, obviously, right now. So yeah, it's a fun league. I enjoy it.
Jeff, we'll check in with you again later this week. We'll try to get you on Thursday here on Pirate Radio Live, and also talk to you for a few minutes on the Bud Light pregame tailgate on Friday.
Look forward to it, Clip. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Jeff Nadu, joining us on the Fixed NC Live line here on a Monday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We will take a time out, come back. When we return, Ronnie Woodward from the Daily Reflector will join us. Talk about ECU's bye week, look ahead to ECU Tulsa, what went down in the American over the weekend. More Mike Houston comments as well. All that is ahead as we roll on hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Paid for by Dylan for Judge.
Well, if it isn't Danny Lotz, the member of the 1957 National Championship Tar Heels. How you getting along, Danny?
CA, the Lord is really blessing me, and you look well. By the way, CA, have you seen the sample ballot for this year's election?
Well, I'm casting my vote for Chris Dillon.
I'm Judge Chris Dillon.
Though my father and Dr. Lotz rooted for different teams, I was honored when they recorded that ad for my first campaign nearly a decade ago. Both men were great role models in my life, and I've strived to emulate their example of treating all people equally, no matter what team they rooted for or their politics. When you vote this year, please remember the 5 Court of Appeals races. I will be the only candidate on your ballot seeking re-election, having served longer on the court than the other 9 candidates combined. I have broad bipartisan support, including the endorsements of both Democrat and Republican judges. So no matter your affiliation, this year when you get to the judges, I would again be honored if you would vote to re-elect me, Judge Chris Dillon. Thank you.
So look for the judges and vote Chris Dillon.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Do you think you or your employees might have been exposed to COVID-19? Arc Point Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. Arc Point Labs of Greenville offers easy employer solutions to COVID-19 testing. Arc Point Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. Arc Point Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
This is Dr. Anthony Scalick from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center of Greenville. We offer a variety of services including arthroscopic surgery, sports medicine, carpal tunnel surgery, general orthopedics, fracture care, total joint replacement, physical therapy, and on-site MRIs. For experienced and professional medical care, visit our office on W.H. Smith Boulevard in Greenville and online at orthoeast.com. Orthopedics East, providing services to ECU and Pitt County athletics for over 35 years. Go Pirates!
Hi, this is Scott Muller with Clean Eats. Carol and I would like to personally thank all of you for supporting Clean Eats so well through these tough times. We are blessed to have such a great community helping us weather the storm. If you're having trouble consistently eating healthy, go to cleaneats.com and click on meal plans and give our tasty and affordable meals a try. Or stop by the cafe for lunch and let us show you just how simple and easy it is to get started and stay on track. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle. 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
There have been many changes in the automotive world. At Phelps Chevrolet, the Phelps boys are here to take care of you. Mike, Daryl, and 4 of Mr. Phelps' grandsons, Wade, Wes, Alan, and Clay. You see, things at Phelps remain the same. The Phelps team has served Eastern North Carolina for over 50 years. We make your visit easy and fun. We are your neighbors, and that's what neighbors do. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Like Mr. Phelps' great-granddaughter says, come in and get you one.
Pirate Radio.
We are not coming together to just be average. We want to build a program that will year in and year out compete for the American Athletic Conference Championship and compete nationally against any and everybody.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by The Man Cave, Greenville's newest premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Book your appointment today at mancaveandnails.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center of Greenville's new extended care clinic is now open Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for any urgent orthopedics care. For more information, call 757-2663 or visit orthoeast.com. Orthopedics East, providing services to Eastern North Carolina and the Pirate Nation for more than 35 years. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live here on a Monday. Got Troy D joining me in hour number 3 of today's program. ECU coming off a bye week. Got Tulsa coming up this Friday at 9 o'clock. We'll be with you 5 o'clock on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Ronnie Woodward will be a part of that program. Usually, Ronnie and Igo join us in hour 3 of the show, but this time, Ronnie, we'll try to get you guys hour 2, the 6 o'clock hour.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
That works.
We'll
Usually it's 10 a.m.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like next week.
We'll have some Parker's barbecue for
Perfect.
you. Sides, chicken.
in.
All right, so
I'm in.
Ronnie is a go for Friday. Ronnie, is how's your bye week this week?
It was good. Took a few days off, Thursday and Friday. Did some stuff around the house. Kind of regrouped and watched some sports for sure. Like I'm sure you did as well during the weekend, and kind of recharged. So feeling good.
Looking at the American from ECU's off week, we saw Tulsa on Friday night put it on South Florida 42-13. They dominated the second half, really the third quarter. A 21-point third quarter following a 14-point second quarter was the difference in that game. We'll talk more Tulsa, obviously, in just a moment. The headliner for the weekend was Cincinnati SMU, and you know, the final score, I don't think, is indicative of how much that was a game for most of it.
Yeah.
But, man, you got to give Cincinnati, I watched them in the first half, and they look like an SEC team. Like, they looked like the Miami teams of, like, the late 80s. Like, they just out-athleted SMU, especially at the skill positions, and they're going to put up 42 points on, I think, quite a few teams with what they do defensively, but also all the options they have for Desmond Ridder. Now, Ridder did it running the ball as well. I think he had like a 90-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, saw that.
That kind of sealed the deal. But 42-13, that is an eye-opening win for Cincinnati Saturday night.
Yeah, for sure. I've always kind of described Cincinnati as like boring good the last
right,
few years.
Because they're so good on defense.
Yeah. Every game's like 23-19, 27-14. They don't, but Ridder, and I don't know, maybe I haven't been sold on Ridder forever, or just maybe he's been inconsistent.
I still don't think his arm is great, but
he's kind of the wild card. Yeah, I think he had 3 touchdown runs. One was like in the 60s or 40, mid-range long run, then the 91-yarder. Like when he can bust off long runs or hit big plays, I think he's kind of the wild card, and them scoring, as you mentioned, 42 and them scoring 22. So they're a tough team to beat. And I was looking at it today. And ECU still on its schedule has Cincinnati, SMU, and Tulsa left. I think those might be the best 3 teams in the league. Or Cincinnati and Tulsa. I think so personally, and maybe you throw in. Even UCF still just talent-wise. Navy finally lost, so the dream is over for that. For me, it was a good run. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think Cincinnati and Tulsa are both legit, and I think SMU's kind of in the mix. I'm not sold on defensively, what they can do, and they give up a lot of points. But you're right. I mean, I think Cincinnati is kind of risen to the top here, and again, they. It's never like electrifying or flashy, but they're just solid. They're just good. They're physical. They have plenty of talent. So, they could run away with the league at this point, but we'll see.
An interesting schedule coming up. They have 3 straight home games, starting with Memphis on Saturday. I just looked. You want to play Guess the Line, Ronnie? I hadn't seen the line. What do you think it is?
Memphis, Cincinnati?
At Cincinnati.
I'm going to say Cincinnati minus 12.5.
I was thinking it would be higher than it is. It's 6.5.
Okay.
I like the Bearcats there, but that is the line on that one. Then they have Houston and then East Carolina.
Houston hasn't lost a league game. I think they've only played one, but still, they've been a little more. They've surprised me a little bit better than I maybe thought originally.
Who'd they beat? No, they beat Tulane and Navy.
Yeah, and then Navy. That's right. And they took it to Navy pretty good. So
their last 3 games, Cincinnati, that is pretty interesting. At UCF, at Temple, at Tulsa. That is a weird schedule to 3 at home, then 3 on the road. And man, could that Cincinnati at Tulsa game be worth something at the end of the year?
And UCF can still beat somebody. You know, I mean, that's the thing. They have the talent to beat somebody. They just haven't played well at the right times this year. But
well, they had a wild one on Saturday.
Yeah.
51-34, 5 touchdown passes for Dylan Gabriel to go with his 422 yards. They knocked off Tulane. Memphis beat Temple 41-29. And then Navy hung around with Houston for a while. That was one of those games where I liked Navy plus the points, and you looked at it kind of cross-eyed too. Like, is that too many points for Houston? Houston outscores the midshipmen, though, 14-8 in the fourth quarter, 7-0, so 21-8 in the second half. Houston able to pick up their second win of the year and their second win in conference play. Their only loss coming to BYU, so you got to start looking at those Houston Cougars as perhaps maybe Dana Holgerson's got them going places in year 2.
Yeah, and I mean, you had to figure Holgerson was gonna get it going at some point, you know, and maybe that's why I thought it was a little too early, but maybe they're they're figuring it out a little earlier than we thought, and then maybe they've benefited from not playing games early. Actually, I don't know if you listened. He was on Holgerson was on Van Pelt's podcast, I think, recently, a few weeks ago, and he was talking about how they handled that, which I thought was really interesting. Like he said, they went almost what Navy got not in trouble, but it backfired on Navy that first game, almost benefited Houston. Maybe he said they didn't scrimmage. You know, they had so long in that preseason, they knew they weren't going to play for a long time, and they didn't go physical, and they didn't want to beat up on each other and kind of scale things back for a long time. He said, because when they played their first game, which was against Tulane, he was like, we were clearly more fresh. Like, legs were so much better than the other team.
The only thing they did wrong in that game was fumble.
Yeah.
If they weren't fumbling, they were running up and down the field.
Yeah, exactly. So I wonder if they're fresh still at this point. Why is my man just laying?
I was going to bring that up when you were finished with your thought. Is that to prevent so we have a free kick in the soccer game. There's a guy just laying on the field, I guess to prevent it from going on the ground
underneath
in a hole.
When they jump?
Like I don't know. That was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. It's like he's taking a nap. But it
had to have been, because watch, they jump in the air.
That was, that's right.
Through.
That was a hell of a save by the keeper there.
What button that is on FIFA?
How do you do the nap?
Tap R2 twice and then hit the...
All right, so that was for us, not for you.
Yep.
How did Tulsa get to where they are right now? I throw out a hot take every now and then, and my hot take was that Philip Montgomery was not going to make it through last year. In fact, I don't know if I had him making it through the previous year. I had him on the same time frame as Scotty Montgomery.
Yeah.
And I thought both Coach Mo's would be out of the AAC. I was completely wrong. And I think one win might have saved his job, Ronnie, and that might have been last year against UCF.
Yep.
Friday, November 8th. So they're 3 and whatever at that time.
They were 2. They finished with 4 wins.
2 and whatever at that time. So 2 and 2, 4, 6, 7.
2 and 7.
They're 2 and 7, coming off 5 straight losses. Their wins were against San Jose State and Wyoming, and they take on a UCF in their Alzheimer's awareness game.
There you go.
And they win it.
Got it done.
34-31. They then lose to Houston by 10, and we were looking at that last game against ECU last year as a game that the Pirates can win, go into the offseason with some momentum.
For sure.
And it was a blowout, 49-24. I don't know if that did anything to maybe keep Philip Montgomery employed at Tulsa, but clearly they played good the second half of last year. They lost to Memphis by 1. They hung in there with Cincinnati. 3 overtime game against SMU, which was a crazy one. So Philip Montgomery, give him credit. I think there was a lot of players rallying for him as well.
Yeah.
Which, can help if there's kind of a tie goes to the runner. Well, the runner in this case was the players. They wanted him there. And Philip Montgomery is still there. And then this year, their only loss is a game they woulda, shoulda, coulda won against Oklahoma State. They're in Stillwater to start the year.
Yeah, I remember watching a good amount of the Oklahoma State game because that was before ECU had kicked off, right? That was
was really early.
One of the earliest games of the year. And to go back, I had Tulsa's game notes up here from earlier when I was looking at some lineup stuff, and there's so many names that we recognize. Coach Houston talks about it all the time, and Joe Dooley actually has the line of, was it get old and stay old or whatever in the conference, and I feel like Tulsa football is at that point. I mean, Keelan Stokes, a receiver, Shamari Brooks has been there for like 10 years, Zach Smith, senior quarterback, Zaven Collins, a linebacker, was just named Defensive Player of the Week, has been there a long time. The corners are really big. Allie Green, he's been there a while. So it's just a lot of juniors and seniors, I feel like, especially how physical they are, the offensive line and defense.
Joe Dooley last week said, get old, stay old.
Yeah, get old, stay
Is that what the Tulsa football team has been able to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, at least with these main players.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the 4 or 5 guys I mentioned there, it was like, oh, yeah, that guy's still there. Like, I know him. Like, Keelan Stokes, I think it's because his brother was there as well before him, but still, I mean, those are guys that are veteran players that are proven. You kind of know what you're going to get, so it's a challenge, but I don't know. You still look at, I don't know, it's not like when they go and play a UCF maybe, or even a Cincinnati, where it's like, man, ECU's talent just doesn't match up across the board. Like, I think they can match up with Tulsa to some extent, but
yeah,
just their size and again the top end, they have veteran players. I think it's a challenge. I mean, that line's interesting. I know you were talking with the big man about it. I feel like that's a lot of points.
I was thinking 15 and a half to 17 range.
Yeah, I think that's a lot.
19's a lot.
But maybe it's just a credit to Tulsa, and again, the way they're playing. So I don't know if it's a slighted ECU as much as just kind of Tulsa's a hot team right now. And again, the senior quarterback, to me, I think play, especially in a season like this, I think quarterbacks have dictated a lot for a lot of teams just because that's kind of a calming presence a little bit.
They always have a good quarterback, and he's got a plain name, Johnson Smith. Like, I swear, every year. This year, Zach Smith, 5 touchdowns in the 3 games, hitting on 63%. He does have 3 picks, running the football. They'll hit you with a lot of different guys. They are, it looks like, and then receiving, they got 3 guys over 10 catches, 11 catches on the year. So they will hit you in a number of different ways. And again, what team week to week in the AAC is going to play defense? You have to ask yourselves that. And Tulsa is one of those teams.
Yeah, Tulsa, again, if we're talking about, what we think are the best teams in the league, if it's Tulsa and Cincinnati, those might be the 2 best defensive teams.
Definitely.
And SMU is kind of the outlier there. If SMU is in that mix as well, they do it still with offense and in that quarterback and so many weapons they have on the offensive side of the ball. But, Tulsa and Cincinnati, it's about defense. It's about veterans, about being physical. Tulsa, I looked it up earlier, another thing. This isn't very fun or exciting to talk about, but Tulsa's offensive line, they're all like 6'3", 330 pounds. 6'4", 325. Every single guy is that way. And 4 of the 5 starters on the offensive line from that game we talked about against ECU last year are starters again for this week. So it's just big physical offensive line. It's the same guys they saw last year. And ECU struggled stopping the run last year, really kind of fitting gaps, and they busted off some long runs. So it's going to be the same line and the same running backs and the same quarterback. ECU's going to have to stop because last year that was kind of the deal. I mean, they just they couldn't get any stops on defense, and Tulsa just kind of had their way up front, it seemed like.
Well, we're saying the same thing about ECU's D-line as you're saying about Tulsa's O-line. I guess second half of next year, 2022, get old, stay old, and have those guys that have just been in. And I believe, and did you look at the participation chart from Navy? I believe that there wasn't a ton of rotating going on the D-line for ECU.
Yeah, definitely not. And I think that's matchup kind of based as well with Navy. You kind of have to trust the guys that you know and you can trust, that, you know, to make your reads, and you're reading the pitch and the pitch man and which gap and a lot of different. Again, playing Navy is just so different from any other team.
There's not a lot of incomplete passes to kind of stop the flow to get people on.
And you're not rushing the passer. That's kind of what gets defensive linemen tired. Right. You're going after the passer, you know, and getting in the backfield 5-7 yards and chasing around a quarterback. You know, shoot, if you're a defensive end and they run the option the other way, you're kind of chilling on it. You know, like, you're not doing a whole lot of running or moving when, you know, the option or the fullback dive type thing.
DK Metcalf showed us all last night.
That's true.
You got to run every play.
Chase them down.
Like it's your last.
But that's different from chasing around UCF's quarterbacks and receivers.
True.
And, you know, just the speed.
Yeah.
It's so different.
You might not want to chase down like Nelson Smith. He might just run right over you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back more with Ronnie Woodward from the Daily Reflector. Ronnie had a question today that I heard that I wanted to address.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm trying to figure out which one that is. And we will play that one and hear from Mike Houston and talk more.
Tulsa's only played 3 games. How do you prepare? I think I only asked 2 questions.
What was your
Mason
other one?
Garcia.
Mason Garcia
There
was
we go.
the one I wanted to hit on. We will do that when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
Decisions say a lot about character, like the time Liberal State House candidate Brian Farkas campaigned against funding for the ECU School of Medicine. It's true. Farkas colluded with Raleigh politicians to block critical funding for the ECU Brody School of Medicine, all at a time when we desperately need better health care. And in return, Farkas received huge campaign donations from some of Raleigh's biggest power players. Because when it comes to priorities, Brian Farkas will put his political career ahead of Eastern North Carolina every time. Representative Perrin Jones, on the other hand, has served our community for over 20 years as a doctor. Perrin Jones has a plan to improve health care, increase teacher pay, and get our economy moving again. Vote Dr. Perrin Jones for State House.
Paid for by supporters of Perrin Jones. Authorized by Perrin Jones, candidate for North Carolina House.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. College athletics financial mess. I'll have some thoughts right after this.
This football season, prepare your taste buds for the most iconic sports watching drink of all time, Pepsi. Designed to power even the most passionate of armchair quarterbacks, Pepsi has everything you need to start strong, keep you in the zone, and recover from those triumphant wins.
Before I was just your average football fan, but thanks to Pepsi, I'm a football watching MVP. Nothing can stop me from cheering my team on to victory or overreacting when the ref makes a bad call. What do you mean he wasn't in? That looks like 2 feet to me.
With refreshing deliciousness specially formulated to keep your eye on the ball and mouth-watering fizziness to help you power through game day, Pepsi is the premier football watching beverage.
I used to care when Mike cheered so hard he spilled nacho cheese on my carpet or wiped buffalo sauce on my new couch. But thanks to Pepsi, I'm so in the zone, even Mike can't ruin my football party. See? Don't even care.
So this football season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink made for football watching. Pepsi, that's what I like.
Fellow AAC members, Memphis and USF recently eliminated positions in athletics. 30 cuts at USF, 19 at Memphis. I know some of those folks who lost their jobs, and I feel sorry for them. COVID-19 has been the breaking point, but the college athletics business model has been broken for decades. I remember years ago driving through Ann Arbor, Michigan, and the front page headline read, University of Michigan Athletics had a $4 million deficit this year. Yes, the same Michigan that draws 100,000 plus lost to football games and goes to Final Fours. And they are just one example of the total mismanagement in just about every program in the country. When you try to explain to people outside the business and tell them that coaches and some administrators have salaries in the millions, and these folks continue to get raises and contract extensions while the enterprise as a whole is losing millions of dollars, they look at you like you're crazy. Yes, it is crazy, all right. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that. Plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all.
We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in Eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by The Man Cave, Greenville's newest premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Book your appointment today at mancaveandnails.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you think you might have been exposed to COVID-19? Do you think your employees might have been exposed? ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral is needed. Same-day results are available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or just walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, quick nugget that I don't think we've talked about on the show. Some good news for your Panthers today, right, Chandler? Christian McCaffrey.
Yep. Back on the practice field, yeah.
Back on the practice field. Speaking of back on the practice field, the Florida Gators are on the practice field for the first time in nearly 2 weeks. And Florida coach Dan Mullen would not say how many players he would have available when the Gators play Saturday against Missouri. So they stopped football activities on October 13th after a coronavirus outbreak. They have obviously not played since, and finally we're able to get back on the practice field today. One more note, boy, the story Friday night was the Mertz kid from Wisconsin, Graham Mertz, who was unbelievable in their game on a Friday night against, who did they play Friday? Illinois. But it has come out that he has tested positive for COVID-19. And now he will take another test to confirm the result, something that we have talked a lot about here in Greenville. If that is confirmed, he would have to miss a minimum of 21 days, that according to the Big Ten's protocol. So that's one of the things, too, that every conference has their own deal here when it comes to testing and protocols. And the Big Ten, that is what their league says they're going to go by. And Graham Mertz, a record-breaking performance as a freshman for Wisconsin the other night, may be missing the next few weeks. So there you go. That, Ronnie, was brought up to Mike Houston today as far as the testing schedule. And, you know, that's you're kind of holding your breath during the week. Even if everybody is healthy and ready to go, you still got to take those tests. And as we've seen, it can really mess things up for game day.
Yeah, for sure. And he said today, Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
So instead of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
And they're heading out Thursday, kind of later in the day.
Yeah. I think he said they were leaving Greenville at 2 or 3, like mid-afternoon Thursday. Which I thought was interesting. It's been asked a few times, and I mean, I guess it's a real thing you have to kind of prepare for. He said they want the players to sleep in a little bit Friday instead of getting up early, and because it's not that they're going to be tired during the game. Like, I don't know if it's that big a deal, but I guess they just want to get their bodies used to that. And I was looking it up earlier. I mean, ECU's played 3 out of 4 games at noon. Next week is at noon. But the one night game was at South Florida on the road, a night game. They didn't look tired or whatever, and that's their only win. So who knows? But I mean, it's going to be a late kick, obviously, and
I asked Ellerbe earlier, do you think ECU will go the entire year without playing a 3:30 game? He said yes. He thinks, Cincinnati is going to be at night on the Friday night, and he said the rest will be at noon. That was his projection.
I could see that.
So could be a bit of an anomaly where we get nooners and a few nighters, and that's it.
Hey, you know my rule.
Yeah.
A noon home game, I'm in.
I'm all in.
For sure. I'll take them all at home at noon. So yeah, but it's definitely a different week. And Coach Houston said today this is their Tuesday.
Yeah.
For everybody else in the working week, today feels like Monday. For them, it's like Tuesday. So they're trying to set things up as best as you can, and traveling one time zone away, and it's certainly a weird kick. But I think honestly it's more on us and like fans and people watching on TV. They're going to be more affected than the actual players in the moment on the field, that type of thing. But there's going to be some people who aren't going to make it through the game for sure.
A COVID test kind of shook things up for ECU for their previous game. Holton Ahlers not able to play, but he's back on the practice field. And Ronnie, I think you brought it up on this show last Monday, just as a talking point. Do you see Mason Garcia maybe do some things in a special package, a special play or two, maybe get him and Ahlers on the field at the same time? You asked Coach Houston about that today, Shirley. This is cut 10, and here was his response.
Well, I think you could. I think there's certain situations for it, and I think the biggest thing with him, and he and I talked about it on Saturday, is now that he's played. And he understands just how fast things happen on the field on game day. For him, that experience is just so valuable. And I just, I really am trying to get him to, even while Holton is taking reps or playing on Saturday, just understanding, here's the call, here's what you're seeing defensively, just trying to see the same things that Holton is seeing, because, Holton has a great grasp of our offense. So I think that you still are in a developmental stage with Mason, but I think certainly you saw some strengths of his on display against Navy that you could see us incorporate in as the season moves on.
All right, pretty good answer there to that question, Ronnie. And you look at the risk reward, positive, negative for everything, and positives are, it could work. It could be a trick play that works and gets you points. Also, I think something you brought up, Ronnie, off the air that makes sense. It keeps Garcia engaged.
Yeah.
Like, how did you say it? You played one game, now go sit down while Ahlers does the rest. Like,
especially given like the extra rule, extra year. You know, it's like, again, probably unrealistic. But you don't want him to play one game and then what Ahlers has the rest of this season and 2 more full seasons. Like, all right, go sit for 2.5 years again. So yeah, I mean, like Coach Houston said, practice is one thing, but some actual game reps and experience, and then you have the film to watch. And I mean, it's an interesting dynamic because I think he showed enough, especially as a runner, that you could keep him involved. Like even if it's just a trick play every now and then.
Bring him in for an option with him and Harris.
And both. What if Ahlers is on the field too, and he goes in motion, and I don't know,
reverse
whatever
pass,
I mean something just to kind of, there's your goal, there just to keep him involved, engaged. I mean it, because I think people saw that he was talented and he's a freshman and he's the future. I mean he's your future quarterback, so it's something they'll manage it, as best as they think, for sure. But
I mean, you don't want to force it.
Yeah,
you don't. But
if it comes natural and if it works, I don't hate the idea. Again, it's just a trick play here and there, or well, if it's a 3rd and short or a 2nd and short, maybe just run the option, run a quarterback power or something. You maybe don't want Ahlers getting beat up or getting getting too physical or getting too many hits. And you put him into, hey, man, go all out and run this quarterback power and see what happens,
Yeah. Or if you're on the goal line against Florida, you bring him in and do a quarterback sneak like Ben Kirk.
Because it backfires.
That's still a weird call to me.
Yeah. You got to be careful, for sure. Everybody wants the backup quarterback to play. So, they don't want to do it too much, but I think it's something worth watching.
It is nice to know too, and we like that we had a full quarterback room heading into the year. and Garcia is only going to get better. But it is nice to know that if something does happen, you got a guy that you feel okay with running out there and running the offense.
Yeah, because he's going to be better.
Yeah.
His second game compared to his first game. Or again, obviously, with COVID or with injuries, what if he has to start a game or come in for a series because Holton sprained his ankle or what? Again, the helmet pops off. I mean, the more experience he gets in spurts or certain situations, that's the word Houston used with certain situations. It makes sense. I agree with that, for sure. I mean, to mix it in when you can, but not abuse it in any way. I think, again, especially as a runner or a trick play type thing, that makes sense.
Ronnie, our Pirate Radio poll question, we'll let you answer this before you get out of here.
Okay.
ECU, you saw the line, was it 19 now? 18?
Yeah, I think it was 19.
Let me do a quick check. Oh, it has gone down since earlier. 17.5 the spread now. Are you picking the Pirates to win, Pirates to cover, or Tulsa to win and cover? Those are the three options. Pirates win outright.
Okay.
Pirates cover and lose. Tulsa win and cover.
God, it's a tough call. Like I said earlier, I feel like the numbers
subject to change.
Yeah.
I said my first thought, I clicked immediately, was Pirates cover. That was my first thought. Again, that could change as the week moves on.
Yeah. I would probably say that's my first hunch too. Because that can go different ways. I mean, that could be a late backdoor cover. It could be the game was close the whole way. It could be an ECU win. Obviously, they cover. Who knows? So yeah, I would probably say that. But again, Tulsa, I don't know. Tulsa might be better than I think people think, or could be just playing really hot right now, where they could blow. Like they just did with South Florida, they could blow somebody out. But I don't know. I'm always, I'm big on the bye week thing, and
I don't think Vegas knows what to think about Tulsa.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that line the other night was pretty low when you consider how bad South Florida is, and it was almost like a prove it line.
Yeah.
For Tulsa, and they covered easily.
Yeah.
The other night.
So I don't know. Again, this is a matchup. Honestly, I don't have a good pulse on in any way.
Because last year we either said ECU was going to win or it was going to be like close. A field goal game.
Yeah.
And it was a blowout.
Last year was like the Georgia State game from this year. It was like, all right, this is going to be close.
Could go either way.
I mean, so tough to predict, and it was a blowout. This one's almost predicted to be a blowout or a quasi blowout, but I could see it being close. If ECU hit some big plays and they, I don't even want to pronounce Harris's name anymore. I'm scared.
Shirley, help us with that, please.
What are we going with?
So it's not Raji, Raja, or Raja. It's Rajay.
Rajay.
See, I was going to say Raji.
Rajay.
Rajay, okay.
The big J.
Got it. J. Yeah,
Dr. J.
We could just say J.
J.
Make it easier.
Yeah.
J. Harris. Rajay Harris. I think I got that right. I think he's an interesting player to watch in this game, though, because his momentum, and I think Tulsa's going to try and take him away for sure, and try and stop the run and some of the things they do.
Well,
so
it's going to be a big day, big game for Ehlers then.
Yeah,
if they pack the box and kind of like what UCF did, right? They go one-on-one on the outside and kind of say you're not going to run, you're going to have to beat our corners, and can ECU do that?
Yeah.
We shall see.
And then Georgia State stuff the ECU's run big time.
Yeah.
But since then, ECU's been great running the ball. So it's again, a very interesting matchup that Monday afternoon here, I do not have a good grasp on. But
we'll see if you do on Friday.
There we go.
If you have any grasp on this game. All right, thanks, Ronnie. Enjoyed it, man.
All right.
Take a time out, come back, get ready for hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Troy D will be here in the Pirate Radio studios. We will hear more from Mike Houston. Troy D's Bears, big game tonight on Pirate Radio, Monday Night Football, Bears and Rams. Here is a karaoke version of Machine Head from Bush. As we go to break, we're back with you after this.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House,
and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Hey y'all, it's Lisa with Halloween Express, Greenville's Halloween superstore for 22 years. It's been a crazy year, but Halloween is not canceled. We have everything you need to make this Halloween one to remember. And did someone say mask? Yeah, we have the largest selection of masks in Greenville, plus every other costume you can think of. Come visit our new location in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. Halloween Express, what are you going to be?
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Cadillac. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2020 Cadillac Escalade and save over $13,000 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
We're midway through bath time, and 2 medium, 2-topping Domino's pizzas for $5.99 each have begun their drive to the Smith's front door. That's a GPS-enabled custom delivery alert, folks. The newest improvement to the Domino's tracker, saying Domino's will be there in 2 minutes. They're calling it audible. Bath time's now rinse time. They've got 1 kid dry, 2 kids dry. The pizzas are here. They made it to the door. The kids are clean enough. The new Domino's tracker with GPS worked again.
2-item minimum. Pan pizza will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
The Frowls family lives on a lush piece of land called Greener Pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frowls family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at QualityEquip.com.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville is the perfect place to get all your amigos together for some Mexican food, fun, and football. Chico's has been a game day tradition for Pirate football fans for over 30 years. Whether the game is home or away, make it a Chico's Day for some great specials and the best chips and salsa in town. Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. University PC Care has been Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. University PC Care are the local tech support experts for any business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live here on a Monday. Clip Brock, Troy D here. What's up, Troy?
Hello, Clipper. How are you?
Hello, friends. I'm doing great.
Clipper!
What's up? Troy, I thought we might be watching a little racing during the show. So
I know.
NASCAR was supposed to run yesterday afternoon, rained all night, supposed to start this morning around 10, rained all day, and I keep following updates. Last one I saw said NASCAR returning jet dryers to track as mist has lightened up. They're still trying to get a race in, but it has been a disaster, so might not be any NASCAR pool going on this weekend.
Yeah, I kind of, we talked about this off the air. Just once football season starts, I forget about NASCAR. It gets lost on Sundays.
You ask me every Monday, was there a race? Or I have to remind you there was a race.
Yeah, and I get stuck on Red Zone or something like that, and I'm like, oh, I forgot there was a NASCAR race today. And then if I do think about it, I can't find it half the time.
Well, you won't be finding this one because it's not happening at the moment. As they're trying to get one in Texas, and they have to get it in at some point because next week's Martinsville, and then after that is the final race, the championship race. So they got to figure out a way to get in these last three, which will wrap up the season, and there'll be time to draft again, Troy.
Honestly, I think I watched it more when they were doing the video game racing. I was glued to it. Remember back then in March and April or whatever that was? I was watching like crazy when that was at one time. That was the only pseudo sports event out there.
I never watched that.
I did.
But
it was the iRacing.
I did watch when it was the only show in town, though, and it got me through some weekends when it comes to sports. All right, we got
Monday Night Football pregame on. They start that kind of early now.
Could be. We get a little Bears Rams action.
Yeah, I always like watching the Come On Man on the pregame show.
Yeah, we're a couple hours away from that.
I know. They pump it up so much, though. It's like they'll start 2 hours before they do it because they know people want to see that. They'll say, coming up next. Come on, man. And then it's like, so I'll watch. And then it's like an hour later they have it on. I'm like,
did they get you to write those teases?
I know.
I'm like, man, the playbook.
I got a taste of my own medicine there. Coming up next. Next in an hour.
Coming up next, we'll preview ECU Tulsa on the Bud Light pregame tailgate on Friday. But we'll start today here in this hour as we'll get you set for ECU Tulsa. On paper, when you first looked at it, maybe not ECU's toughest game on the schedule, but man, the Golden Hurricane looked good this year.
Yeah, I'll give you what concerns me.
A segment entitled Troy D's Concerns.
I am concerned, and I will express why I'm concerned coming up.
All right, we've got that on the way, and some Mike Houston comments when we return. Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Also, we'll open up the booty bag. Shirley Rhodes will tell you what's in the booty bag when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Brandon Tate with Firstborn Food Distribution, and coming up on Saturday, November 21st, we're going to feed 5,000 people. We need 2 things. 1, we need you to help volunteer and help deliver this food. 2, we need your money. It costs over $16,000 to do this, and we need you to step up to the plate with your wallets and your time. To donate or volunteer, please visit pr927fm.com and click on our ad. Firstborn Food Distribution. Come feed your neighbors.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is former ECU tight end Bryce Williams from my friends at the Auto Store Group. If you're in the market for a quality used vehicle, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. The Auto Store Group, your hometown store and Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Go Pirates!
Hidden phone trade-ins, hidden plan requirements, hidden catches. You won't find them at US Cellular because we speak fair. Plus, when you switch right now, you can get the latest phones free. Upgrade to fair. Upgrade to US Cellular. Requires new postpaid service plan, new line port in, credit approval, qualified smartphone purchase, and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional terms apply.
Does the idea of going to your local US Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
You know, texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
Hi, this is Scott Muller with Clean Eats. Carol and I would like to personally thank all of you for supporting Clean Eats so well through these tough times. We are blessed to have such a great community helping us weather the storm. If you're having trouble consistently eating healthy, go to cleaneats.com and click on meal plans and give our tasty and affordable meals a try. Or stop by the cafe for lunch and let us show you just how simple and easy it is to get started and stay on track. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle. 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now, during hurricane season, is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Pirate Radio.
It's great to be on. This is an honor. You know, Pirate Radio is kind of a cult following around North Carolina, so I'm excited.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Atlantic Wireless is your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. It now offers curbside service and free home delivery. In addition to phone service, Atlantic Wireless has a great selection of tablets and now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, thank you, Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, video producing today's program. Troy D joining me here in hour number 3 of a Monday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Troy?
Clip, never going to give you up, never going to let you down, never going to run around and desert you, never going to make you cry, never going to make you say goodbye, never going to tell a lie and hurt you.
And you just got Rick-rolled.
And that was a live Rick-rolling.
I saw that online, and it said, this is the type of person we need as president that could live up to this. If they could pledge that, that'd be great.
We'd be all right.
Yeah, they'll never going to give you up, never going to let you down.
Yeah.
Never going to run around, never desert you, never going to make you cry, never say goodbye, never tell a lie, never hurt you. Isn't that what we need in all our candidates?
Rick Astley, 2020.
Yeah. Think about it.
Perhaps.
It's a good message.
He's got his campaign song already.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect.
He could probably get the rights to this. Every time he comes up on stage, this is the song he plays.
Never gonna give, never gonna give.
It'd be freaking awesome.
All right. You heard it here first.
Yeah. All right.
Troy, coming off a bye week, victory Monday for me. Washington football team.
Congratulations.
Spanks Dallas.
It was so bad, I did not even kid Brian Bailey about it earlier today.
I didn't send him a single text yesterday.
I've been very mature about that. I stopped the text harassment a long time ago because he just can't take it. But I did not say, I was like, it's not, I don't even want to joke about it. I felt almost, I kind of pity the Cowboys fans right now. It's not fun. Like, it's fun when it's a good rivalry. They're down and out, man. You know?
Man, it was fun. But I see it was such a big performance that Troy Diaz scheduled a 30-minute press box for this week.
We did. We have a 30-minute. Now, this is a first, I believe, in 2020. Am I right?
Nah.
Or did we do one before pandemic?
We were literally doing the press box when the ACC tournament started.
Sorry, that just feels like 2 years ago. Was that this year?
It was.
This will be the first pandemic
Post-pandemic press box.
Yep.
That's got a good ring to it. Tune in, folks, for the post-pandemic press box. Friday at 4. Is that what we have it scheduled for right now?
Yes.
Yeah, to hit the airwaves. So it'll be a radio exclusive here because our pregame Friday, by the way, a lot of folks may not realize this. I've talked to a lot of folks, they still think the game's Saturday. The ECU Tulsa game is away, but it is on Friday.
I'd love to know the people that you talk to.
Friday is the new Saturday.
You talk to a lot of people that don't know what's going on.
Correct.
Who are these people?
They have other things going on in their life, and they're just assuming the game's Saturday. They didn't realize it was Friday. Not all of them are super fans, Clip Rock. Yeah. There's a lot of casual fans out there, observers, as I would call them.
They just turn on the TV Saturday and hope the Pirates are on.
Yes. So it's Friday. So our pregame will start at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m., but we're going to do some special programming starting at 3. The press box will be part of that at 4.
And this is not, Cowboys Washington related. It'll be a lot of ECU talk, but we can make sense of NFL.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great week for the press box to return.
No question.
Especially if the Bears win tonight, right?
Oh, heck yeah.
We'll have a lot of fun to talk about.
That'll be huge. It'll be 6-1 for the Bears.
Man,
if that
definitely doesn't. They're definitely not winning. That just doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right to my ears.
Place in the NFC North.
Man.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football tonight, right here on Pirate Radio, Bears and Rams. All right, Pirates coming off the bye week, Troy D. They got Tulsa coming up, and I tell you what, let's go ahead and start with the tease you had there in the open. Troy D has concerns,
and I was talking with you at the break about it. I was like, well, are they concerns, or am I more worried, or am I nervous?
Are you nervous?
Possibly.
Steven. Are you concerned? Are you nervous?
Worried. And then I started wondering, what's the difference between worried, concerned, and nervous? Are all three of those the same, or is there a difference? And have you ever really thought about it? Is there a difference between being worried, being concerned, or being nervous?
I think,
because then I'm thinking, well, which one am I?
I think
or am I all three?
I think concerned.
Now I'm worried that I might have the wrong word.
Are you concerned or worried or nervous that you have the wrong word?
I'm worried about that. Nervous is more like scared maybe to do something, like I'm nervous. And concerned is worried.
I think
like all these words could describe the other word.
Yeah, they're probably be a total goat rodeo. They're probably all even. I think concern might be the lowest level of alert.
Okay, so
how you feeling about
that? I think
that?
I'm worried is like concerned. The top, and then you have
and then nervous,
and then concerned.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about it, but I'm not nervous. But I am worried.
All right, we figured it out.
All right. So
these are just concerns. They're not. You're not outwardly.
No, I'm not losing sleep over it, but I am concerned.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't want to say I'm worried yet, but these are things that could worry the coaches.
It's kind of like, that we should make a meter. Where's Troy with this game this week? It's at a low level of concern right now.
Yeah, I'm concerned. I think the coaches would be worried, and some of the players could be nervous.
Well, I hope not.
Well, I'm just saying where it ranks.
Okay.
Could be. All right, first thing I'm worried about. Concerned. Sorry.
Wait a minute.
I already messed it up. First thing I'm concerned over. You got to look at the body of work, Clip Rock. Because, you can always, I love what's the series, what's the trend. And at first I was like, oh, this isn't good for ECU.
You're a big body of work guy. You're a big the body guy.
We've dropped the last 2 games that we've played to them, but I was like, you know what, this is such a weird year, you got to throw that out, right?
Okay.
Who cares about what happened last year or the year before?
Screw the body of work.
Yeah. And you do have to go back to, what was it, 2015 since the last time East Carolina beat Tulsa.
Man, that's a long time.
So it's been 5 years since we've had a victory over this team. But I was like, you know what you could go by is the body of work this season. Mm-hmm. What's happened the last couple months? East Carolina, as we know, is 1-3.
What have you done for me lately?
Tulsa's 2-1, but let's dig into their 2-1. Let's see if we have any common opponents. This is where it gets interesting, Clip Rock. Their first game, they played on the road at that time, the number 11 team in the country, Oklahoma State. Pretty tough way to start the season, would you say?
Yes.
Yeah, a respectable, close loss. Moral victory, perhaps, for them. 16-7 loss.
Am I supposed to pretend like this is news to me?
No, I know you already know
Okay,
this,
all
but
right.
this is news to people probably listening.
Correct,
right now
yeah,
that don't keep up with Tulsa.
Right, the people that don't know the game's Friday.
Then they were going to be on the road at Arkansas State. That got postponed due to COVID. Then they went on the road. How about this? They had to start all 4 games were going to be road games for them to start the season. They went on the road to UCF. At the time, the number 11 team again they had to face. Back-to-back number 11s. UCF, you might remember we played UCF. The Pirates played UCF. And it did not go so well. 51-28 loss on the road. You remember that, right?
I do.
Yeah, you did the post game. Tulsa goes on the road and beats UCF 34-26. That has me worried. That's a common opponent. We lost badly to them. They had a good win to them.
So you've officially advanced from concern to worry.
I'm now worried.
Wow.
All right. Then you take it. The next road game, their next game was at USF. We played USF. If I remember correctly, we beat South Florida. Right? That was a good.
You have a good memory.
Good win. It was a 44-24 win for the Pirates. Tulsa played them on the road, so this is a good common opponent. Both were road games. They won 42-13. So they scored 2 less points than ECU, but they didn't give up as much. They only gave up 13 points. Where the Pirates, to this common opponent, gave up 24 points. Now I'm getting, so both common opponents, they did better than we did, you could say. That has me nervous now.
Wow.
So now I'm worried. And now this is the big thing that I think is going to be a factor, that we don't do well when this happens in these games.
Okay.
Now, I am a student of history on this. We have a terrible track record. Doesn't mean it always, but the majority of times when this happens, we do not do well. You want to take a guess? And it's going to happen Friday at Tulsa.
I don't know, play a non-Saturday game.
That's a good guess, Clip. That is not it, but that's a great guess.
I mean, play a road game's obvious, but that's not what you're talking about.
No, that's not what I'm talking about either.
I don't know.
When we play games and the temperature at kickoff is below 50 degrees, we, as an ECU, do not do well. I have taken a look into the future. As of right now, around kickoff Friday night in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a scheduled 47 degrees with a low Friday getting down that evening to 39 degrees. It's expected to rain in Tulsa all week. It should be clear Friday, but it's still going to be kind of one of those, I think, kind of still dampness in the air, slight breeze. When that wind kicks up a little bit in Oklahoma, it drops it like another 10, 15 degrees, the way it feels. This isn't the feel-like temperature. This is the real temperature, 46. So I think it's going to feel like it's more like in the upper 30s. And we don't do good in cold weather games, Clip.
It's enough to make a man nervous.
That has me really nervous right there. And we better bring the gear because it might feel like it's 20 degrees to us.
Yes.
And it not this crew, but we have made that mistake before on road games when we didn't bring the right gear.
That was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And around the same time period.
Was it that long ago?
It was 2014.
Wow.
Temple.
Yeah.
We all remember. Kind of the mark of the downfall of Pirate football.
You could go back to that date and see kind of things started to spiral down from there. Yeah.
Then the next week you play another cold game at Cincinnati. You lose that one. Cold weather just does not. Pirates don't do well in the cold.
Correct. So that factor alone, the cold weather in Tulsa, and look, if you live up north or you're listening to us right now, that's not cold. It's cold here. We haven't had very many cold days here this year. This has been a very warm summer. It's been a great fall. Hell, temperatures were just above 80 Saturday. Today was okay. It was a little cooler today, but we haven't really had cold weather yet. So we're not acclimated to it. We're not used to it, really. And I think that's going to be an issue.
I think that is a factor for the game on Friday. And I'm glad you brought that to the table, Troy.
Thank you, Clip.
Yeah.
Those things I'm a little worried about. As I said, I'm not as worried about the series history and all the stuff that sometimes I get too focused on. I think the weather and how Tulsa's done so far this year and how we've done this year. You look at those things, you can see why we're a big underdog.
As you said, Tulsa has only played 3 games and have looked pretty good in all of them. That game against Oklahoma State, that's one that they are kicking themselves because they really could have won that game to start the year. Ronnie Woodward earlier today, Mike Houston cut 8 Shirley, asked Mike Houston about scouting Tulsa. Only 3 games this year. Do you just look at those? Do you look back at last year? He answered that.
No, with the time that we had, I mean, we've looked at most of their games from last year and just really trying to find, some different teams, how they executed on either side of the ball against this team or that team based on what scheme they were seeing. So we've looked at a good bit of film from last year going into this game.
And last year did not go the Pirates' way, Troy. If you said you're not going to go back years and look at results, but last year was a game, and I need to grab the Phil Steele out of Ellerbe's room. I want to see what the line was going into that game because it was 2 teams kind of in the same spot last year and trying to finish out their season strong. And I remember we thought that ECU would finish out their season strong last year, and it was a blowout. Tulsa took it to ECU last year.
49-24 clip. And the big part was they racked up 669 total yards against the Pirates. So the defense has got to do better this time around if they want to have a better outcome.
Yeah.
And if they rack up that many, close to 700 yards again, I don't see how you're not going to win this game.
You are getting some good news. Holden Ayler's back at practice. Yep. And Mike Houston was also asked about the rest of the guys that were out last week or ECU's last game. Cut 5, Shirley. Here's Mike Houston's comment on that.
We got most of them back. We'll be without a few guys this Friday, but we're getting a lot of them back from quarantine and isolation, and we're getting some of our guys that have been nicked up a little bit, getting a few more of those guys back as well. So it's certainly good to have Holton back at practice. He practiced well on Saturday, looked very sharp, and so expecting to have a great week with him as far as preparation goes.
A shot in the arm there for ECU, getting their starting lefty back, Holden Ahlers. And also you think back to the last game Holden Ahlers played in, it was a pretty precise game from Ahlers and the offense in the win over South Florida. You just hope, Troy, since then you've had Ahlers missing a game, you've had an off week. You hope that they can get back to where they were for that South Florida game when they take on Tulsa Friday night.
The one thing, a lot of the guys are rested. They gave him some time off this weekend, and Holton's been sitting at home, still trying to do what he can do by himself, I guess, but not practicing with the team until Friday, Saturday. So he's going to be fresh. So, and you do take a beating as a quarterback. I mean, even if you're not injured, you're still playing hurt a lot. You're bruised, you're banged up.
Especially the first 2 games of the season where ECU's O-line did not protect him well.
So if there's any good to come out of this, I think it got him healthy, so to speak, or at least to a point where a lot of those bruises could heal, and he's coming into this game fresh. So hopefully the Pirates, look, they got nothing to lose on this game at this point. They're a big, what is it, 19?
I saw it 17 and a half a little while ago.
Major underdog, over a 2-touchdown underdog. Nobody expects ECU to win. So, play balls out and do what you got to do, and, who knows what could happen.
So you calling this a loss?
Am I?
Yeah.
I haven't made my prediction yet. I was going to save that for the press box or Thursday for you.
Stay tuned.
Things happen. Every day is a long. I don't want to. I feel like this is too early to make a prediction on the game. Let's see what happens this week. What if someone else gets? What if half of Tulsa's team gets tested positive? That could be a game change. There's so many variables.
What if the weather changes? It's supposed to be 79.
That changes. I'd be very optimistic then.
You would certainly be less nervous, worried, and concerned.
Right. What if it starts to snow? I was watching one of the games in Denver. It was snowing yesterday.
That's right. Yeah.
So now all of a sudden...
Which, by the way, it's back-to-back years that Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs have played Denver in the snow, and they've blown them out both times. So some teams can handle the snow.
True.
Really.
Right.
Some players at that. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll hear more from Mike Houston, talk more about this ECU-Tulsa matchup, Troy Dick.
Clip, also want to remind you about our buddy Tony Corey. He is with Trans World Business Advisors. I've been telling you about Tony for some time now. Of course, if you own a business and you would like to sell that business, but you don't know how or where to start or how to go about it, this is what Tony specializes in. They have a huge network. Tony's local, Tony Corey, right here in Greenville, is with transworldeast.com. You can go online and find out about him there. You can sell your business. He can help you find a buyer, whether it's someone local here in Eastern North Carolina, or there's a lot of folks from out of the area that are looking to move to the area. And maybe your business is the opportunity they're looking for. That's the type of connections that he makes. And the other side of it is if you're looking to buy a business, no matter where you are, Tony can help you with that too. They've got incredible opportunities all over the place. They're also hooked up with not with just local owners and operators, but also over 400 different franchises that you could choose from. Trans World Business Advisors. They can help you sell your business. They can help you buy a business. Tony Corey is the man with that. Give him a call. His personal cell number is 347-9606. 347-9606. If you're ready to run your own business, be your own boss, perhaps it's time you kick the tires and find out how to go about that. And if you're ready to transition out of your business and pass the torch to someone else, Tony can help you do that too. Thanks to Tony Corey with Trans World Business Advisors. Once again, go online, transworldeast.com for more information.
All right, tell you what, Shirley, I almost forgot. As we go to break, we need to make somebody a winner and open up the Pirate Radio booty bag on a Monday.
You want to do it right now?
I want to do it right
What's
now.
in it?
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
How about Chico's, Troy?
Yeah, shrimp taco.
Nice.
Lunch
Shrimp
or dinner.
taco,
One of my
rice,
favorites.
beans, Chico's right here in downtown Greenville.
It's in my top 3 of Chico's ordering. I have a rotation, and it always top 3 item right there.
Well, now we got to hear the other 2.
Right now, or
yes,
all right,
right now.
The other 2, it's hard to go wrong with the chicken quesadilla. Often get that, and then I love. Well, it's a tie.
Why don't you say top 4 then?
Yeah, top 4. I love the combo, the taco enchilada combo. Sometimes if I'm feeling hungry, I'll go 3 deep. 2 tacos, 1 chicken enchilada.
Nice.
If I'm not totally hungry, 1 chicken taco, 1 chicken enchilada. And then I forgot the name of the thing. It's real long. It's rolled up and it's fried. It's got chicken on the inside.
Chimichanga?
No, but it's real narrow. God, it's so good though. But I forget the name of it.
All right.
Damn, I'll call Mike during the break and find out.
All right.
For you.
I think we're on like 5 things now. So your top 3 has really expanded into a big list.
This is not that thing I'm talking about. It's not the healthiest option, but man, it is good. It's one of the best things they have on the menu. I'll get the name of it and have it for you when we return.
But either way, the shrimp taco in Troy D and I's top 3, and it can be yours for free if you're caller 12 317 1250 more. Pirate Radio Live on the way after this.
Paid for by Dillon for Judge.
Well, if it isn't Danny Lotz, the member of the 1957 National Championship Tar Heels. How you getting along, Danny?
CA, the Lord is really blessing me, and you look well. By the way, CA, have you seen the sample ballot for this year's election?
Well, I'm casting my vote for Chris Dillon.
I'm Judge Chris Dillon. Though my father and Dr. Lotz rooted for different teams, I was honored when they recorded that ad for my first campaign nearly a decade ago. Both men were great role models in my life, and I've strived to emulate their example of treating all people equally, no matter what team they rooted for or their politics. When you vote this year, please remember the 5 Court of Appeals races. I will be the only candidate on your ballot seeking re-election, having served longer on the court than the other 9 candidates combined. I have broad bipartisan support, including the endorsements of both Democrat and Republican judges. So no matter your affiliation, this year when you get to the judges, I would again be honored if you would vote to re-elect me, Judge Chris Dillon. Thank you.
So look for the judges and vote Chris Dillon.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water-soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
Humana is proud to serve veterans. If you've recently turned 65 or become Medicare eligible, Humana would be proud to help you with your Medicare decisions or any questions that may arise. Let an agent assist you now to determine which Humana Medicare plan may best serve you. Humana can teach you about health plans, which will provide you with the access to products and programs to help support a healthy life. Humana is proud to be the National Medicare Advantage Plan provider to the veterans of foreign wars.
This is Denise Walker. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
Did you know you can help prevent natural gas emergencies? Whether you're planting a tree, putting up a fence, landscaping, or starting an excavation project, Greenville Utilities strongly encourages you to follow the law and call NC 811. Even minor contact with a natural gas pipeline could cause a natural gas emergency. Before digging or excavation of any kind, North Carolina law requires you call NC 811. Please call at least 3 full working days in advance so all utility lines can be professionally marked prior to digging. Stay safe, avoid damages, and call 811 before you dig.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or heading to the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
2020 certainly hasn't been the year many of us were hoping for, but one thing has stayed the same. I'm Tim Sutton with Greenville Auto World, and our commitment to our customers has never wavered. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Your vehicle is a big investment, and our customers trust us to keep them up and running with outstanding service and value. We're Greenville Auto World, across from Hardee's at Bells Fork.
The fun place to dine out with friends and family is Familia. Familia has something for everyone and offers favorites like New York-style pizza, lasagna, homemade meatballs, plus new specials like chicken parm alfredo, mahi fish and chips, chicken piccata, veggie burger, butternut squash ravioli, and more. If you need food to go, Familia's drive-thru window is open and ready for all takeout orders. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
Pirate Radio.
It's going to change. I promise you. As I stand here, it will change. Okay, and when it does, that stadium, it's going to be rocking, and heaven help whoever walks in there to play us.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Guys, you cannot impress the ladies with that sloppy, unkept look. That goes for you married guys, too. Time to get to the Man Cave in Greenville, the premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Enjoy a cold beverage, a snack, and let the professionals make you look your best. Visit mancaveandnails.com and book your appointment today. The Man Cave, now open on the corner of Fire Tower and Evans. And congratulations to Todd Harris of Winterville, picked up a shrimp taco lunch or dinner courtesy of Chico's. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's. Enjoy your favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Plus ice cold cervezas and Chico's famous margaritas are also available. For Mexican food and fun, it's gotta be Chico's. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Welcome back into the program. Who'd you say the winner was one more time?
Todd Harris.
All right, congratulations to Todd. We were talking about Troy's power rankings for what to order at Chico's. There was one item he could not remember the name of.
And this is why I love Greenville, Clip. I mean, could you imagine being like in a big city? You live in Philadelphia and you like go to some place and you're like, I can't think of the name of that, and you're a nobody up in Philadelphia. It's just some place you go to and you think you're going to call the restaurant and talk to the owner and ask him, what's that dish I like? And they're going to know. No, they're not going to know, Clip.
No, they're not going to know.
But in Greenville, I was able to call Mike Horton and I was like, Mike, man, sorry to bother you. What is that?
He said, what do you want this time, Troy?
He's like, what? I was like, man, I'm trying to do my power rankings for my top Chico's dishes. I said, I've got 3 down. I said, I can't think of the name of the skinny. And before I could even say it, he's like, chicken flauta. I'm like, yes, that's it, Mike. That's the one I love. Chicken flauta is in my top 4 power rankings of Chico's. So that is fantastic. And Susan's weighing in on Facebook Live with Enchilada Suiza. I'm going to put that in at number 4. Enchilada Suiza is good too.
Well, we're at least at 6 or 7
No,
now.
no. So that's 4. I'm going to put shrimp tacos in the one hole right now. I'll go chicken quesadilla number 2, chicken flauta number 3, and then enchilada suiza number 4.
Okay.
But depending on the day, those can change.
All right.
But those are my top 4 power ratings of the Chico's menu.
The Hungry Pirate is a go-to if you're really hungry and you want something awesome.
And when I was in college, they used to charge like $1.99 for that thing. It was like or they'd have a special. It would be like $1 or $2. And you know how big that thing is?
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's the size of Morgan Ayler's head. That's how big it is.
Wow. That is
that is a large dish.
It is.
And heard Morgan the other day saying, "What do you expect? I'm 6'5" and weigh 600 pounds."
Well, his head
He's a big man. It's a proportion.
His head fits his body.
Right, it does. I mean that in a good way for Chico's, that it's a good portion.
If he had a normal head, like the guy on Beetlejuice,
yeah,
a little head,
look right. He'd look ridiculous.
So head fits
nobody
the body.
wants a little head on Morgan.
Yeah,
wouldn't look right.
We need a big-headed Morgan.
It's very He doesn't. It doesn't. You don't realize, that was my point, how big his head is until I put the headphones on afterwards. I'm digging a hole, aren't I?
Yeah, you talk a lot. You never know when to quite stop. Troy, we were talking. What was the score? Do you have it from last year?
Yes.
Tulsa ECU.
Tulsa ECU last year. Pirates fell to the Golden Hurricane, which is another topic that drives me crazy. Their nickname, 49-24. There's no hurricanes in Tulsa. They should be the Tulsa Tornadoes.
First of all, it fits better.
Yes, and it has a good ring to it.
It's alliterative.
Yes. Wow, that's a big word clip.
Yeah.
I can see someone's been doing some homeschooling. You virtual learning with the kids?
I got
that's pretty big time.
A college degree from East Carolina University.
Right now, I'm sitting on a C- in 7th grade math. I don't know about you.
Yeah, we are
possibly a D. It's not going well.
We got all A's and B's at the moment, but
I am doing good in ELA and social studies.
It's taken all of our brains to get there.
Yeah. Why are parents having to go back to school just because it's virtual learning? By the way,
Shouldn't
it just be the kids that are doing the virtual learning?
The other night, my wife was like, "Man, I really like fractions. I wish I knew this much when I was in school." Like, well, yeah.
One of the reasons I love getting out of school is so I wouldn't have to do that stuff anymore.
Right, because we don't really use that
stuff. This is a nightmare for parents.
Yeah.
And I know teachers, you have it hard too. I'm not, trying to say it's easy on you guys, but this is what you do for a living. You guys do get paid to do. Like, the parents I know, none of them want to be teachers or even know how to be teachers. Like, this is why they're not teachers. But they're having to be teachers, and it's a nightmare.
The point I was going to make was ECU was a 6-point underdog in that game against Tulsa last year.
Yeah.
That's some math I know. Spreads.
And that is the
totals.
real world math they should be teaching these kids, Clip Rock.
Yeah.
That's math that you will always use with you. Much like, percentages are important. Hey, you want to tip 20% on your bill? Mm-hmm. You need to know that.
Yeah.
I always use it's $2 for every 10. It's kind of a good rule of thumb, right?
Sure.
there. So,
that's a great, simple way to know 20%.
Yeah.
You want to, how about this, Troy? How about some quick sports math, gambling math?
All right.
If you want to know what Vegas thinks the score is going to be, roughly.
Yes.
You have the spread.
And then the over-under.
The 17.5. The total is 59.
Right.
So what is Vegas saying with that?
Oh, those, that is a great math equation. That's a great sports math equation.
I love doing these.
You have to take it and figure out that 17 point.
Correct. I just said that.
Yeah. Do
you want to try to do this?
Not live on the air. I think I would keep manipulating the numbers until I make the numbers work.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's a formula for it. There probably is. I'm just not familiar with it.
For example, this one's kind of easy actually. 37 to 20.
All right, so
would be 17 points, and that would be 57.
Okay.
So let's go one more and say 38-21.
There's your score.
That puts you at 59.
Yeah.
The number's 17.5. So that's what Vegas is kind of considering.
Yeah.
38-21.
Yeah, you can use those two numbers to get their scoring prediction. And what their scoring prediction matters because they take the emotion out of it. A lot of fans can't look at these games emotion, have too much emotion in it, pulling for their team too hard. Vegas don't care about any of that. All they care about is the business of who's going to win, who's going to lose, and by how much.
Yeah.
It's just a business.
Do they factor in the weather?
Absolutely.
All right. So
when it is a factor. Now, a lot of times
you'll see the total go down and down.
Yes.
You know.
Now, do they factor in the cold for a team like ECU? That might be a little in the weeds.
That's where we have an advantage.
Correct. There's a little tip from Troy D and Clip Rock right there that, hey, look, something to consider on Friday night. Going to be cold. Could be a little windy. Does not bode well for the Pirates in the past. Doesn't mean they can't overcome it. Is a factor.
Now, Mike Houston took a James Madison team. Did they win their championship at North Dakota State? I want to say they did because North Dakota State's in the championship every year.
I watched that.
So, I don't know. Maybe he can play in cold weather.
Well, I think he's fine.
Yeah.
He's not throwing the ball, catching the ball, or blocking last time I checked.
That's true.
He'll be bundled up on the sideline with a headset on and a face mask.
And if they didn't bring the cold weather equipment, he's going to be pretty angry on the sideline in his short sleeve shirt. Let's hear his opening comments again today, Shirley. They had the press conference on Monday this week with the game pushed up a day to Friday night. Here were his opening comments.
Exciting matchup this week. Tulsa. We all got a chance to see them Friday night against South Florida. It was enjoyable to sit and watch the game, but still take away the same things I expected going into that game, and that's we're facing one of the better teams, if not possibly the best team on our schedule. I think just a very solid team from top to bottom. They're strong in all three phases. Most of the guys are the group that played against us last year. It's a team that is made up of fourth and fifth year players that have been in the program for multiple years, very experienced, very big, very athletic, good football team. So going to be a great matchup for us. Excited coming off the bye.
Exciting time,
get some guys some rest and, get a head start on Tulsa with it being a Friday night game. So, for us in the program, today's Tuesday. For everybody else in the world, today's Monday. But we started practice on Saturday for the game this coming Friday. So it's going to be a quick week. The kids will be excited to kick off Friday night and get another chance to play on the national stage. And should be an exciting matchup.
Very exciting. Clip, I think we should rerun this clip. Pardon the pun. And do it like, remember that TV show where the two robots were playing movies and they were making comments as the movie was going on? It was called something 2000. Mystery Science Theater 2000. I think we should run this.
Well, that's why I turned the mic on.
I know.
You were doing your commentary.
I know. I think we should do it just for this one, not all the time. Let's run his comments back again, and then we could and you could chime in on this with me, and we can run our commentary while he's talking.
Shirley, just play back the first part of it, and Troy, you say what you feel.
All right.
Shirley, hit it one more time. Play the beginning of that one more time.
Yeah, the cut you just had.
Exciting matchup this week.
Exciting clip.
Tulsa.
No, keep it going. Keep it going.
Tulsa. We all got a chance to see them Friday night against South Florida.
They look good.
It was enjoyable to sit and watch the game, but still take away the same things I expected going into that game, and that's we're facing one of the better teams, if not possibly the best team on our schedule.
Oh boy!
I think just a very solid team from top to bottom.
Concerned.
They're strong in all three phases.
Oh boy!
Most of the guys are the group that played against us last year. It's a team that is made up of fourth and fifth year players that have been in the program.
They're old, Clip.
Multiple years.
They stayed old.
Experienced.
Got old, stay old.
Big, very athletic.
Yikes!
Good football team.
Getting worried.
So,
cut it, Shirley.
It'll be a great matchup for us.
So
I'm
Troy,
full blown concerned at this point.
Troy, listen.
Coach
to
has
that,
got me freaked out now.
and now, he's jumping off a building.
Yeah, I was probably I was at like a 2. Now I'm at a 4 on a 5-point concern scale.
Oh, I was hoping it was a 10-point scale, but a 5-point scale.
I'm at a 4 out of 5 and concerned, worried, and nervous.
I feel like we do this every week, though. Week 1, it was, all right, UCF's the toughest team we're going to see. Then it was Navy.
This is the head coach telling you it's the best team on the schedule.
They put their pants on the same way we do. Every coach does this crap. This time it's real.
I'm buying what he's selling.
They're better than Cincinnati? No, they're not.
Well, we'll have to see how Cincinnati is when we get there. It's the best team on the schedule. I don't know.
It's the best team on the schedule this week. No, they do the Navy. Navy's the worst matchup on our schedule. We do.
They didn't say Navy was the best team.
I know. You change it for every opponent.
Yeah.
To make it sound difficult.
19-point underdogs.
Have you ever heard a coach press conference?
This team's good. They're old. They got all their guys coming back for 4 or 5 years.
35 years old across the board.
All 3 phases are good, Clip.
Yeah, not just 1 or 2. Wow.
I'm not feeling good about this.
You know what you need?
At least he warned you.
You know what you need? We're going to get the audio of Tulsa's coach, Philip Montgomery.
Yeah.
He's going to talk about how good ECU is.
I'll give you $100 if he says ECU is the toughest team on our schedule this year.
All right, fine. I'll take that since it's no risk for me, but he's not going to say that.
It could be a total goat rodeo.
What if he says that?
I might slide you a 20.
My point is...
You can get him... What is it, Philip Montgomery?
Yes.
If you can get Coach Mo to say goat rodeo, I'll slide you $20.
All right, I need to jump on this press conference because if I say, Coach, you think this is the best team you'll face this year, I don't think he'll say no because then it'll be disrespecting him.
You can do it.
And
this would be great.
He'll say, you know what? This could be the most talented team we play.
Get him to say ECU's the best team we'll face all year, I'll give you $100.
All right. The challenge is there.
Here.
All right.
We'll shake on it.
All right.
That was a COVID shake.
When is I got to jump on this press conference now. I would just keep peppering him with questions.
And a bonus 20 if you can get him to say goat rodeo. All
right.
Or if
it could be a total goat rodeo.
If you talk about a goat rodeo in a question to him, I might slide you 10.
All right. No, look, they are a very good team, obviously.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. Now, look, they beat UCF.
They beat UCF like a drum. Well, not like a drum, but 34-26.
Like a cymbal.
Yeah, on the road.
Like a hi-hat. They tapped them a little bit.
That's...
Thanks.
I mean, we lost to UCF 51-28. That's a big margin of difference in those 2 games.
You love a margin of difference.
I do. You love a point spread.
I do.
And an over-under.
We love what we love.
We all love our different numbers, Clip.
we love what we love.
And what unites us is stronger than what divides us.
You can't help what you love, you know?
Yeah.
You just can't help it.
Hey, look. There's a lid for every jar out there.
All right, I'm going to get you the Tulsa coach's comments to pep you up a little bit.
All right.
Because I'm sure he's going to talk about how good ECU is. He's not going to say the best. You're right.
Right.
You're not going to owe anybody $100.
Rarely, I will give you this. Rarely do you hear a head coach say, yeah, this team we're playing, boy, they are struggling. They look terrible. We should easily cover the spread. I mean, yeah, you're right. You don't hear those things. Now, I would love to hear someone like Mike Leach say that one time or something.
He's not going to say that right now. His team stinks.
I know. Or Nick Saban or somebody. I would love to hear them say that. Like, be truthful.
Bill Belichick?
Yeah.
Man, the Jets are awful.
Yeah.
We're going to kill them.
We should really bury them.
Well, earlier this year, the coach at Georgia State manufactured a slight that Blake Harrell said. They were coming off the UCF game, and he basically said that they're more normal, as if they don't go 100 miles an hour and they're more of a normal offense. And then after the game, their coach said, hey, the defensive coordinator for them said we were normal. Like they made up the chip on the shoulder to have. So the coaches, you don't say anything at all.
That sounds like your spouse trying to pick a fight with you.
Yeah.
That's not what I said.
Picking apart every single word.
Looking for something to try and start a fight with you.
Exactly. And coaches do that to put on the bulletin board for their teams.
Correct. If they don't have good material, they try and make it up.
Exactly. And coaches are wives in that case.
They are.
Yeah.
They're like a spouse that you have issues with.
But we love them.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a time out. We'll come back and wrap up Pirate Radio Live. We've learned a lot today.
We have. We've covered a lot of ground, Clip Rock.
We've taught math, social studies.
We started with a Rickroll. That really got me in the mood.
Yeah. Shirley, you set the tone today. Way to be a tone setter. All right. We'll take a time out, come back, wrap up Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2020 Buick Enclave and save over $9,500 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Hey guys, this is Amanda from the Man Cave. Do you need your hair cut, or what about a beard trim? The Man Cave is the newest spot just for you. I'm the local owner, and my goal is to make sure you have a place to be pampered and treated like a man. We don't have the girly stuff. Our cave is masculine. Enjoy a game of pool or free snacks or adult beverages during your service. The Man Cave is now open next to Lighting by Design on Fire Tower Road in Greenville.
In studio with Gloria from Kinetic Physical Therapy. What kind of wellness services do you guys offer?
We have massage therapy with your choice of either a relaxation massage, a therapeutic stretching session, or a prenatal massage. We have foot reflexology. We partner with Pirate Cryo for cryotherapy, also known as cold therapy, and we have health and wellness coaching. And if you're interested in holistic body therapy and saving money, we encourage you to check out our wellness membership plan, where you can have all of our wellness services at a constant discounted price. You can learn more today at kptonline.com.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Discover a new wave of refreshment. Crafted using seltzer water, 5% alcohol, and a hint of fruit. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with natural flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, 2019 Chicago. Visit whiteclaw.com for full nutritional information.
Hey, welcome to Jack Brown's. What can I get you?
Can I get a vodka soda with a lime, please?
No liquor, just beer. We have beer out the wazoo. And we don't even know what a wazoo is. IPAs, sours, gozas, wheats, stouts, porters, you name it, we got it.
Drink 100 beers and join the Notch Club. Don't be a nerd. Ask about the Notch Club.
Yeah, we've got the best craft beer in Greenville.
Awesome. I'll take a pack to us light.
You got it, on the way.
Jack Brown's Beer and Burger Joint, located at 805 Dickinson Avenue, right in the heart of Uptown Greenville.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs of Greenville. Right now, for a special time, Sparky Snowballs is open every day from noon to 8 in the Food Truck Rodeo on the corner of Evans Street and Fire Tower Road. Stop by for a delicious icy treat. Plus, did you know Sparky's also has funnel cakes and fried Oreos too? Support your local Food Truck Rodeo every day from noon to 8 on the corner of Evans Street and Fire Tower Road. Sparky Snowballs, serving delicious icy treats to smiling faces for over 20 years. Visit Sparky's on Facebook or sparkysnowballs.com.
This is ECU assistant football coach Roy Tesh, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your stock market report for today. The Dow was down 650 points and closed out at 27,685. The NASDAQ is down 189 at 11,358. The S&P is down 64 at 3,400. That's a look at your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back into the... Now you're going to screw me up.
I think Chandler's
back
rubbing
to
off
you,
on
Pirate Radio Live.
With the S&P.
The S&P.
Sounds like something he'd say.
Yeah, I screwed that up.
The S&P.
The S&P.
Are the Bears going to win tonight?
Oh, yeah. I feel good. I am not worried or concerned, which does have me worried or concerned. I'm too confident about that. I should be more nervous.
Bears-Rams on Pirate Radio.
Pick your hat on today.
Coming up at 6, Brian Bailey Show. We talked to Drew Dudzik today on the Brian Bailey Show. Yeah, that's coming up in a few minutes if you're listening to our live edition.
We gave away the Chicos earlier today. Who won that again? Was it Todd Harris?
Todd.
So I'm getting texts from friends, and we were talking about the favorite Chico's dishes. I said, the shrimp tacos in my top 3. Actually, Todd somehow got my cell number. Texted me. He said, my Chico's power ranking is the Mexican pizza with shredded chicken. It's an appetizer, but I ordered it as a meal. It's awesome. I got to try that, man. I've seen the Mexican pizza, and I've never had the guts to pull the trigger on it, but I like the idea of shredded chicken on it. Wow. I may go crazy and try that next time.
You're going to have a top 10 soon.
That sounds like a good play right there. Because I will tell you, the only other place that I knew used to serve Mexican pizza was Taco Bell, and they discontinued it. And that was like I don't know how real that Mexican pizza is anyway. But it was, I thought, a popular item at Taco Bell. Yeah. But they don't have it now, but Chico's does. And Chico's is going to be better than Taco Bell.
It's one of the downsides of going to a place that has so many good options.
Yeah.
You're missing out on some. They have so many good things.
Yeah.
And you could double down if you want, but you can't quadruple down, Troy D.
It's true.
It's expensive and very unhealthy.
It's true.
But,
yeah,
man.
Space it out. Have you ever done this? Have you ever gone there for lunch and then dinner?
In one day?
I've done that before. I have done lunch there and then have done dinner there. I've doubled down.
Well, Chad, and now this is not a factor anymore, thanks to Mike at Chico's, the owner. But he said, can you put an item on your power rankings if you don't know the name of the item? If you could describe it and you know what you're talking about, you probably can.
Yes. Yeah, now they're nitpicking.
Because Troy just says to the waitress, I want that thing that's, it's long.
Yeah.
How did you describe it?
Long and crispy and has chicken in the middle.
Yeah, and they're like, boom.
Used to be on special on Fridays.
Chicken flauta.
They know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, people love to nitpick.
Yeah.
Everybody's so
Do you know anybody like that?
I'll tell you what I try not to complain a lot. I'm going to go ahead and warn you a week from today what I'm going to be complaining about. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I'm going to be bitching and moaning about this, and probably at least for the next 4 months, I am going to be leading the charge, tip of the spear about this, because it's the worst thing to happen this time of year.
Daylight savings time.
Yes, it's going to be cold. It's going to be dark. The show's going to be over. It's going to be pitch black. I hate this time of year. This is the last good week, people. After this week,
it's all
4
over.
o'clock. Oh, it's dark. Pack it up,
It's all
buddy.
downhill from here.
Feels like midnight at 5 p.m.
Y'all know how great we've had it so far in 2020. This is it.
Yeah.
It's the end of the greatness.
Oh, yeah. Now it's just, this is the icing on the cake for crap right here. Daylight. I'll tell you what. You want my votes in politics and daylight savings time? Create more daylight during the day. You got it from me.
I will give Troy credit. He's a man of his word. He said he'll never complain about how hot it is. And I don't remember him ever saying,
no, I will not do that.
It's too hot. I can't wait for it to be cooler.
You can't have both sides of it.
I'll
take the heat, but I hate the cold and darkness.
Yep. So I'll give you credit on that.
I hate when it gets dark early. I'm sorry. I don't understand these people that like it to be dark early.
Okay, well, you don't have to talk about the people.
All right, I'm sorry.
Everybody likes different things.
I just don't know if I don't know if I can be friends with someone that says, "Oh, I love daylight savings time."
Here we go. Always go a little too
I don't
far.
have to hate them, but I'm just I don't think I can hang out with people like that.
All right, nobody's making.
All right, sorry.
We're fine.
Okay, I'm cool. All right, I'll get some medicine. My light box will be fine.
I just got a text message. You want to read it, or do you want me to read it?
Go ahead.
I just got a text message from Jonathan that says, "Quote: Go get Troy the positive book out of this."
We're gonna need it next Monday at the meeting. That's for sure.
I'm just trying to prepare myself for the darkness.
Yeah.
And the cold. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming.
Another episode of Pirate Radio Live is coming as well. 3 o'clock. We'll talk to Evan Krasinski, former Pirate, now in the Cardinals organization. That and a lot more on the way Tuesday at 3. Enjoyed it, Troy D.
Clip, a lot of fun. I'll see you Thursday.
See you, Shirley. See you, Chandler. And we'll see you folks tomorrow at 3 on Pirate Radio Live.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the